Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final round of the British Drift Championship and the final time we will ever see drifting action here in Rockingham Motor Speedway. The sun is out, the people have arrived in their thousands, and I'm joined with a man who is a little bit tired after working the crowd first during the break. Nathan Black. Nathan, you've made it a full season in the BDC.
No, but no one saw that coming, did they? Am I on?
You got to let go of your button there, Nathan.
I don't know what it...
Yeah, look, technology not your thing.
Am I on now?
You're on now, yeah.
Okay, so just carry on talking. How about that?
There we go.
There we are.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dummy.
Don't touch me again. Yeah, but you know what? Did you see? I was running like 6 miles an hour out there.
Yeah.
That's why you got to come down here live. It's all really good
Crazy.
when there's live stream, but when you're here live, you get all the action, all the stuff that goes on in between, you know. And now we're back on the battles about to take place, and all of a sudden I feel full of energy at the thought of seeing some of the drifting maniacs going head to head.
Well, you've had a chance to meet and talk to some of these maniacs throughout the year, Nathan. Who do you think is going to take home the gold today?
It's hard, that, because I tell each driver I think they're going to win, so they'll like me and add me on Instagram, which has worked several times. So look, you can't argue with Dwayne. Dwayne's he's unstoppable, as it would appear. Martin Richards, though, you know, there's always a bit about me that thinks that the man from Driftworks is going to take it home. And look, then they meet someone like Mitch, and all of a sudden you think, well, this guy can drive. So you tell me, what do you think, Power Ed?
Well, I'm not here to give opinions, Nathan. But it is. Look, we don't normally do a top 32 parade, but given as this is the final round of the season.
El Gran Finale.
El Gran Finale, exactly. I thought you and me could bury the hatchet, but we also thought that we could give every one of the drivers that make it through to the top 32 an opportunity to get down in front of the most crazy and noisiest crowd we have seen all season long. So with that, we are almost ready to hand over to my good friend and compadre, Ian Waddington, who is going to release the cars and bring down the top 32 Vikings, the best drivers in the country right now, for the final time on British soil and in the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Ian, over to you.
Thanks, Eddie. Yeah, I'm down here on the grid and we are ready to get this top 32 underway. Ladies and gentlemen of Rockingham Motor Speedway, as our top 32 make their way onto the circuit, led out by the Cannon Run, I want you to make some noise for these guys. They've put it all on the line. They've battled hard all year for your entertainment. Rockingham Motor Speedway, are you ready for your top 32? Let's get this going. As you can see, the guys from the Cannon Run bringing them out in spectacular fashion. And I'm excited. I am so excited for this. Is going to be an incredible top 32. And we have got some heated battles. As you can see, these guys making their way out. Dwayne McKeever leading out the force up front, as always. And Dwayne McKeever qualifying taking a top spot in qualifying again this season. Looks to be undefeated. Ladies and gentlemen, get your hands in the air, give them a round of applause as they pull up in front of you. Give it a round of applause for your top 32, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. And led out by the amazing pace car from the guys from the Cannon Run. Jay Cannon and Dapper Laughs up front are leading these guys out. Look at Dwayne McKeever and Ian Phillips. We're going to take a walk to the beginning of the grid and we're going to have a chat with some of these guys and introduce you to your top 32. Rocking them as they pull up in front of you and they get out their cars. Make some noise. Give them a round of applause. These guys have worked seriously hard. Travelled the length and breadth of the country for your entertainment. As we are ready to introduce you to your first battle of your top 32. He may have qualified in 32nd place, but don't take anything away from this man. They don't call him the business for nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Ian Phillips. Undefeated on UK soil in 2018. This young man is a champion of champions. Can he finish this event off in spectacular style? Well, only time will tell. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for the Northern Smoke Machine, Dwayne McKeever! Up next, these two guys, OGs in UK drifting. If you don't know their names by now, then well, where the hell have you been? Ladies and gentlemen, representing Team M&M in the 1JZ powered E36 Compact. Raise it up for your former pro champion, Michael Marshall. Chasing him down will be this guy, all the way from Newton Abbot in Devon. This guy's got a spectacular chaser and he expects to put it on the line for you. Give it up for Martin Wanacott, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, you couldn't get two further apart if you tried. A 200 horsepower BMW goes up against a 700 horsepower 2JZ S13. Alistair Sutton, ladies and gentlemen, the underdog. Give him a round of applause. And this man, well, again, if you don't know his name by now, then you will do by the end of the name. Raise the roof for Connor Shanahan, ladies and gentlemen. Coming all the way from Florida, representing Njuku Racing, Formula D Pro 2 driver. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kevin Lawrence. Chasing him down though and trying to clinch the championship at the final round. Ladies and gentlemen, you only hope to keep the trophy in the UK. Give it up for Driftworks' Martin Richards. Give it up to this guy who brings all the colour to the grid. An OG in Irish drifting, this man has brought the most technically advanced vehicle we have ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for Darren D. McNamara. Chasing him down, well, you could class him as an underdog, but this guy is technically correct at every portion of the circuit. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Peter Hayden. Up next, they say he's the best looking man out of Wales. Well, you can't deny it, just look at that face. Representing BP Racing Fuels, Westlake Tyres and Washloo. Give it up for Oliver Evans. Chasing him down will be none other than the son of one of the oldest drifters in UK. Give it up for Brett Perry. Up next on the line, an unusual situation. A man that's travelled across the country, from his own country to ours, to battle it out. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for the Frenchman.
Antoine Amar.
Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, Kevin Quinn, ladies and gentlemen. This guy, back to back, undoubtedly one of the best drivers we've seen come from Ireland. Raise the roof, ladies and gentlemen, for Kevin Quinn. Yeah, I can see your name. Sorry, Peter. Not in his usual car, but he's been battling hard as always. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for Driftworks' very own Richard Greenrod. Chasing him down will be the very smartly addressed Peter Nilsson, ladies and gentlemen, representing Drift Games and the IDC. Raise the roof for Peter Nilsson. Up next, your 2017 Pro-Am champion goes to battle in the Pro Class against a guy who's been proving himself in the Pro Class in the IDC. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your 2017 Pro-Am champion, Scott Cartilage. The man that is renowned for online gaming, but technically this guy is superior behind the wheel. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for your Pro Drift Academy driver, Alan Hinds. Up next, look at him, cool, calm and collected, ready to do battle. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Hell Performance's very own Elmore. Taking him down will be the Pro-Am guy that succeeded no end this year and made his grade all the way into the Pro Class today from yesterday. Give it up for Andrew Earl. All the way from Northern Ireland, Quinn's Ensport very own. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for Ryan Caldwell. We'll be taking on our very own nightclub bouncer who's looking to sling Caldwell out of the competition. Give it up for Midnight Motorsport, Lee Barker. We've not seen this guy in UK soil before, but we have been waiting to see this man drive in the UK. Undoubtedly the most aggressive driver in this BMW E36. Give him a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Liam Devlin. He won't have an easy task though, because he is battling a man that we know very, very well. Could be the last time we see him. I doubt it. He'll be back next year. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Simon Perry. Well, what can we see here? A very interesting battle. The boss from Driftworks, ladies and gentlemen, Perry. The most unbelievable Toyota Corolla. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for Driftworks' very own Phil Morrison. Trying to take him down, there will be none other than the Thunder from Down Under. This man, undoubtedly, one of the best drivers out of Australia. Raise the roof and give him a warm welcome, Mitch Lana, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, Two guys from the same team are going to go head to head. Someone's going to be upset. Give it up for Matt Denham, ladies and gentlemen, and Paul Smokey Smith. We're nearing the end, and it doesn't get any less of a tough battle. The man with one of the best beards on the grid, driving the Slide Motorsport RX-7. Give it up for Jason Clark. Chasing him down will be none other than the Lithuanian lunatic, the man with no brain. Give it up for Aramis, for Callous. And last, but by no means least, are these two guys. The fan favourite, the current champion, Matt Carter, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for him. And chasing him down will be his very good friend and sponsor, but that means nothing on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a warm welcome, Mike Walton. Ladies and gentlemen, that does round up our top 32. But before we send these guys off to do head-to-head battle, I want everyone in the grandstand to stand. I know Dave Egan's had you on your feet already, but everyone in the grandstand, stand up. Come on. I'm going to want your participation for this. Everybody all the way around the side, everybody on the stairway over there in the grandstand, everybody here in Rockingham Motor Speedway. I want everyone to make some noise for your top 32! That's not good enough, Rockingham. That's not good enough. We were close. Was that good enough, guys? No, they're not impressed. Before we see these guys go head to head and put their cars on these walls and door to door with each other for a trophy on the podium, they're going to want your support. Rockingham, are you ready for your top 32? That's what I'm talking about, Eddie. It's back to you. Gentlemen, start your engines. It's top 32 time.
Thank you, Ian, and thank you to our top 32 drivers and to everybody here in attendance, making this one of the most special send-offs to UK drifting. The final round, we are almost set to go. Nathan, your last few moments in the spotlight.
Yeah, he didn't mention me at all there. I feel like Ian forgot that I was even here there. I'm here getting, I'm covering while he's round and gallivanting down there. I'm here holding the fort.
Well, I think it's obvious then that you haven't really left your mark even after 5 rounds.
You don't reckon? No, well, listen, I'm going to go back down there and I'm going to do what I do best, and that's try and understand just what on earth's going on here. I've had more than enough time sitting next to you, Power Ed, so I'm going to hand on over to the main man, Mr. Dave Egan, for some words.
Thanks, guys. What an incredible event we have ahead of us here. It is just electric in Rockingham. I couldn't even hear a word anyone saying with the amount of cheers and car noise that's out here. It's incredible. What a finish to the season. Attendance record broken. Sun shining in October, and what a top 32 ahead of us. Drivers from all across the globe are here, from Lithuania, Romania, Australia, Ireland, the US. This has never happened before. This kind of a grid. We've got 2 guys who have competed in the Formula Drift on the grid. We've got guys who've competed in the Drift Masters Championship all year on the grid. We've got the top 3 from the Irish Drift Championship, and they go up against the pride of the UK today. We are now about to head into our top 32 battles, and this essentially is moving on from qualifying earlier on when we watched these guys in single runs. Now the attention shifts to the chase position and what is involved there. Well, this is a track built for chasing. Getting close is not a problem here. However, what is a problem is sometimes making the wrong decision and getting yourself caught in that chase position. We want guys to be transitioning at equal time with the lead cars. We want to be running walls. We want to be staying on that qualifying line. We don't guys cutting the track a whole lot to get proximity unless they're within 3 meters. We'll be calling the shots right throughout the event, making sure that you guys are up to speed on how we're calling these battles. And I feel already that it's going to be a tough day here for me, Kieran, and Ryan to maybe get through all these battles without some questionable arguments between us, because the guys have been that good so far today. I'm pumped. I'm sure the drivers are pumped. We know you guys in the audience are pumped. I am ready to get going on this top 32. Ian and Eddie, it is going to be spectacular. We're going to send this season off in style. I cannot wait.
Thanks, Dave, and yes, I'm joined back with my good friend and compadre Ian Waddington. Ian, you know what? Dave alluded to it earlier on. We have been all over Europe this year watching drifting, and we have seen some insane crowds. And that cheer that we heard from this Rockingham crowd just sent shivers up my spine. Insane. I'm expecting to hear a lot more cheers from them because we have 32 drivers left in this competition who are ready to raise the roof, they are ready to raise the bar, and they are ready to put UK drifting on the map once again. For the final time of the season, we are ready to go with our top 32. I'm ecstatic here.
I am ecstatic as well, and I can't believe I've been all over Europe and I still forget people's names and forget even who they are. Crazy. I want to apologise for Anton and Omar there for getting completely lost in the moment and getting caught up in that. But you know what? I'm blown away. And you know why I'm blown away? Because I walked down there at top 32 grid, and it's the first time this year that I've been nervous because this place is packed. Me and Dave Egan, you and us guys have been all around Europe all year, and we have seen sell-out stadiums, 15,000 people. Not once this year did I feel any sort of pressure. I stood in front of my home crowd and I thought, these guys are serious. They've come out of their homes, they've come and supported UK drifting, and you know what? From the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank every single person here enough. Look at that on the live feed. Everyone, give yourselves a round of applause, Rockingham Motor Speedway. If it weren't for you guys coming out and supporting these events, Eddie, it just wouldn't be possible. And I just can't believe how many people have come out to support this. I'm blown away.
Well, I'm going to say one thing. If you're watching at home and you're looking at this on your monitors, that is not even the full picture of just how many people are here. That is a sold-out grandstand, but we have wall-to-wall people all the way around this circuit. Just in their droves they came to this final round, the highest pre-sales we have ever seen in British drifting, and what a way to send off this championship for the final time in 2018. I, for one, am very excited, but we have a simple matter of a championship to decide, and let's get started with the top 32. Sitting on the line, Dwayne McKeever, undefeated on UK soil. He's coming up against a man who has some work to do if he's going to take down the 4-round winner. Ian Phillips sits on the line coming up against one of the best in the business. McKeever, he's going to go out there and try and put in the best qualifying line that he can put in. Phillips knows he's got to go door to door. He's got to be within inches of him when they leave the line area, because he knows McKeever will come hunting when they reverse the positions. Here we go, the first battle in the top 32. Oh, and an error. 4 wheels off track. It looks to me from Ian Phillips already as McKeever sets sail and takes it out to the wall. And if that wasn't 4 wheels off at the start, it certainly is for Ian Phillips. And as if the task wasn't big enough, he has given himself a mountain to climb.
He certainly has, Eddie, and you're right, you know, just an absolute mountain to climb there for Ian Phillips. Tried to carry the same pace, as what Dwayne McKeever initiated with, but unfortunately just couldn't match him. And yeah, Dwayne McKeever, they're doing an absolutely sterling job leading out the run, and just a shame to see Ian Phillips put 4 wheels off track and then put in an over rotation. So judges just going to, our track marshals there just going to try and remove the cone from underneath the car as Ian collected our outer zone 2 cone.
Yeah, so the start line marshal Malk's just having a quick look there just to see if they can remove the cone from underneath the vehicle of Ian Phillips. And Dwayne McKeever sits on the line, ready and waiting, of course, chasing this championship. Could he be the first man in history to take down the Irish Drift Championship and the British Drift Championship in the same season?
Well, there's one person who stands his way, and that's Ian Phillips, but right now it doesn't look like Ian Phillips is going to be able to make his way back to the line unless they get that cone removed from underneath the vehicle. We are just awaiting word to our start line marshal. We're going to hand over to Dave Egan quickly for a breakdown on this.
Yeah, we're just acting as head marshal just to give you guys an update on what's happening with the rules there. So Ian Phillips has run over a cone, it's gone under the car. He's allowed the time to remove that cone from the car. It's not a mechanical failure on the car or anything like that, it's actually a track problem. So we're actually allowing him to get the cone from out under the car, and he'll head back into the second half of that battle shortly.
Okay, so that's obviously important in terms of the should he progress, this wouldn't be classed as a 5-minute rule, and he would still have another 5-minute rule should he require it.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, we move it along to the next battle in order, and that will be Martin Wonnacott to take on Mike Marshall. Like I said earlier on, Eddie, 2 OGs. These guys have been around a very long time. Mike Marshall, former pro champion in the British Drift Championship. Martin Wonnacott really proving himself this year as he stepped up to the pro class. Has he got what it takes to take down Mike Marshall? Well, we're going to find out as they come off the line. Mike Marshall firing that little E36 compact in behind 2JZ corrected earlier. I'll get it right one day.
yeah, look, I mean, we can't always be right in. We can only do our best, but right now, Wonnacott is doing his best to take it to the wall and try and pull a gap. between him and Mike Marshall. He's doing just that, looking very confident out there on circuit right now as he clouds out the Rockingham Motor Speedway with Marshall trailing in the dust behind him. Marshall just unable to match him for speed.
Pace being the bigger issue there, like you say, Eddie, and we know Martin Wanacott running those super sticky Westlake tyres, so in a little bit of advantage there for Martin Wanacott to drive away. Nevertheless, now Martin Wanacott has to chase down Mike Marshall, as Mike Marshall and Martin Wanacott are going to make their way back to the line and swap them over.
So yeah, the drivers swap themselves around, and of course if you are new to drifting, the battle segment of the competition is where the lead driver, the higher qualifier, aims to replicate what they did in qualifying, get that 100-point score. The chase driver needs to get as close as possible to the lead driver.
Wow, look at that from Wanacott.
Yeah, Wanacott straight into this one as he attempts to go door to door and just mirror Michael Marshall as best he can, doing a good job getting really good proximity and contact as they send it towards the wall. And another love tap, but it's unsettled Martin Wanacott, and maybe that over-aggression costing him as he straightens massively in.
Yeah, massive correction there from Martin Wanacott, but didn't make too much of a difference to Mike Marshall's line. Mike Marshall stays in it, gets himself offline now, but Martin Wanacott really forcing some aggression there, and I know judges are going to want to see a replay of that. I certainly do, Eddie. I want to see exactly what went down there. Look at this aggression though from initiation as Wanacott start and makes a dive onto the door, backs out ever so slightly, makes another dive there, and then he has to correct, misses that wall run, gets into it there, but off throttle is Mike Marshall. No tyre smoke for the back of Mike Marshall's car, so that could be the reason why, Eddie.
Yeah, certainly that section of the circuit would be a full throttle zone, and Martin Wanacott certainly wouldn't be expecting Mike Marshall to slow at that point.
Well, no, as we spoke about earlier, and Dave Egan said, the whole circuit, apart from as you approach out of zone 6, is a full throttle zone. So yeah, as we can see there, no tyre smoke for the back of Mike Marshall's car, and he did lift off the throttle. That's what I'm presuming, that's my assumption of it. As the decision comes in, who's going to take it through to the top 16? Left for Mike Marshall, right for Martin Wanacott. Kieran, David and Ryan make it unanimous. Martin Wanacott gets the win and advances through. We're just going to quickly throw it back to our judges.
Yeah, Martin has a pretty good advantage from the first run. Mike just puts no fight in there whatsoever. Martin, excellent lead run. If he'd done that in qualifying, he'd have been way up the order. Second run, on initial glance, you think Martin's gone too aggressive, but when you watch the replay, Mike actually from clip 2 to 3 comes completely off throttle in the full throttle zone, and then on the transition, after transition towards clip in zone 4, off throttle again, gets hit by Martin, still off throttle, hit again. So, that's all full throttle zone on the track. You can't be coming off the throttle that much, and Martin couldn't have anticipated that the car in front was going to slow that dramatically in front of him repeatedly. So from our perspective, it looked like Mike may have had an issue with the car. There might have been some reason he wasn't putting the power down. We can't take anything away from Martin for that, so he gets the win.
So there you have it, Martin Wanacott, the first driver into that top 16. We return back to the second half of the Dwayne McKeever, Ian Phillips battle. Of course, Ian Phillips, if you remember, Ian, on a 0 from that first run. McKeever with the 10-0 advantage as we send it into the second half of this one. Phillips out of the traps nice and fast, but McKeever knows that he'll more than likely have the pace here over the course of the run. He'll wait to formulate his attack, and now he looks to go.
Oh, wow.
But Phillips obviously having problems with that car. They almost come together, but McKeever makes evasive action, makes the overtake, and tags it off the wall. And safe to say, McKeever will be progressing on to the top 16.
Well, there we go. McKeever and Phillips pull up to the line, and we do need to make it official. The graphic will appear on your screen in a minute as they those guys get out of the car. Slide them left for Ian Phillips, right for Dwayne McKeever. And there you go. A unanimous decision, taking the win and taking the 2018 Pro Championship, Dwayne McKeever, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause as he stands on the back of his car to celebrate. Dwayne McKeever takes the win, and Eddie, he takes the Pro Championship. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, look, incredible season for Dwayne McKeever. He has not missed a beat all season long, and a very, very worthy champion, and you can just see the elation as he sits in the car. He knew that this would be the crowning of him if he could just take down Ian Phillips in the top 16, and you know, what a very worthy champion. Irish champion, English champion, all in the same season. A bright future ahead for that young man.
Certainly is, but can he go 5 for 5? Can he take this final round to the wire? Well, we're going to find out. We need to get through our top 32 first, and up next will be Connor Shanahan to take on Alistair Sutton. Now, listen, I said Alistair Sutton's the underdog, but this guy has been phenomenal all weekend, Eddie.
Yeah, he's been really great as Alistair Sutton. He is the massive underdog. He has, you know, a third of the power of Connor Shanahan, probably a third of the experience of Connor Shanahan as well, but let's not rule him out just yet. Connor Shanahan in the Shanahan 180SX, 600 brake horsepower under the bonnet as he clouds out the arena, and Alistair Sutton getting lost in the smoke, but there he is, still here, still in the fight as he just tries to gain some ground, but he just can't keep with the pace of Connor Shanahan in that link engine management 180SX. But despite everything, Alistair Sutton just keeping on that wide line and doing everything he's supposed to be doing, in just doesn't have the weaponry underneath him to keep himself in the fight, and certainly just outcarred it and no more.
You hit the nail on the head. Completely outcarred. No driving error whatsoever from Alistair Sutton. Just completely outcarred. And Shanahan, like you say, 600-700 horsepower, 2JZ under the bonnet. No match really is a BMW 328. So there we go.
So we switch it around, and now it'll be the job of Sutton just to try and lay down that perfect lead line. Shanahan, though, will need to try and control the aggression, not get too close to the slower car as Sutton hugs that wide line. Shanahan tucks in beside him, bumper to bumper, door to door as they come around with the first wall section of the circuit. Shanahan, a master at this craft of chase driving, modulates the throttle and balances the car perfectly in the chase position.
Oh, Shanahan
Sutton,
wheels over the edge of the track though, Eddie.
Yeah, a minor mistake I feel though, considering the advantage he has from that first run. Sutton not putting a foot wrong here though in the lead position. An absolute credit to him, with Shanahan biting down on his heels. But yes, Sutton with the hands out the window. Guys, make some noise for both drivers, Connor Shanahan and Alistair Sutton.
Connor Shanahan getting out of his car there to greet Alistair Sutton. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That guy travelling all around Europe this year, campaigning his European debut. Decision is in. The slide up left for Alistair Sutton, right for Connor Shanahan. And Kieran, David and Ryan make it unanimous. Connor Shanahan takes the win, ladies and gentlemen. Alistair Sutton knocked out of competition. No need to throw it to the judges, Eddie. Just pure outcard, and the chase run, no proximity, where Connor Shanahan was all over the side of him.
Yeah, certainly, and I look forward to seeing Alistair Sutton come back next year with a more powerful car, because that guy is extremely talented, and we will see much more of him. Now, we move it on to a man who will have heard word that he has just missed out on the championship, but still, Martin Richards in the fight to try and take the win here this weekend. He comes up against visiting driver Kevin Lawrence, who has looked so good here this weekend. The Juku Racing driver coming up against one of the best of the OGs in British drifting, Martin Richards, on home turf. Could the visiting driver take a scalp here in the top 32? Could he take down Martin Richards? Richards to leave them in, Lawrence to give chase.
Yeah, look at Lawrence as he starts to approach the front wheel of the car, but big straight in the middle of the circuit there for Kevin Lawrence now, as Martin Richards keeps his cool, stays on throttle, and absolutely smokes out Rockingham Motor Speedway. Richards looks to find out zone 6 and gets there absolutely perfectly. Now Lawrence starts to make a dive on the door, but Lawrence with a scrappy attack, and not the cleanest of chases we've seen.
No, not the cleanest of chases by any means, but certainly keeps himself in the competition, in the fight here, where we reverse them, switch them around for the second half of this battle. Lawrence will know, he'll have the spotter on the radio. The guys will be letting him know that he needs to put down that really strong lead line and hope for a few errors from Richards in the chase position. But Richards, a master of his craft at this stage, has been in this sport for such a long time, and he'll know. Oh, Richards looking to get the jump off the line as Malx gives the order side by side as they come down the straight, slam through the gears. Lawrence throws it in, big angle. Richards right there with him as they go door to door. Lawrence just missing out on that third outer zone. Now, can he take it high up onto the bank? Again, just not as deep into those outer zones as he's like as he comes down now into the teardrop section, dialing on big angle just to try and scrub some speed. Richards, though, right there with him, where he's been throughout the entirety of the circuit so far. Switches back. Richards goes door to door again, and as they cross the line, Martin Richards poised and composed the entire way around the circuit in the chase positioning.
He certainly was, Eddie, and that was an incredible chase there from Martin Richards, doing exactly what he's done all season. Easy one for the judges, that one. Decisions in, slide left for Kevin Lawrence, right for Martin Richards. And there you go, look at that. Martin Richards, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win and advances through. Give our visiting driver, though, Kevin Lawrence, a round of applause coming all the way from Florida for your entertainment, representing Juku Racing. And Martin Richards, a little dejected that he didn't get the championship, but you know what, he's still in the fight for second place.
Yeah, regardless of not taking home the championship, still a very successful year for Martin Richards as he, you know, attempted to keep that title of the British Drift Championship in the UK, but unfortunately it heads to Northern Ireland with Dwayne McKeever. Now, we get ready to move on to a very interesting battle. Darren McNamara, one of the veterans of drifting, taking on Peter Hayden. Peter Hayden in that Laurel. And he'd have to feel like he's going to need to produce the big stuff here to take down Darren McNamara on his current form at the moment.
He certainly is, Eddie, as they come off the line, and it will be Darren McNamara to lead out Peter Hayden for a spot in the top 16 as Hayden fires it in. Flawless initiation there from Hayden, but a wheel dropped from McNamara. Now he gets back into it. Judges not going to penalise him too much if he can put down a perfect lead run. Oh, wow, and Hayden shuts it down and goes off track.
Yeah, and if there was ever any worry about the wheel drop by DMAC, it's all been
brushed
settled.
under the carpet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, it's been swept under the carpet, and as you say, because as we saw in qualifying earlier on, judges not heavily penalising drivers if they are committing into that first corner and getting nice and deep. But obviously, the off there from Peter Hayden, handing that 10-0 advantage to DMAC as they switch it around. You can just see the throw of the head back from Peter Hayden. He knows a missed opportunity to take down one of the biggest names in the world of drifting, Darren McNamara. He has been everywhere competing, and he has battled it out against some of the biggest and most famous names in the sport.
As we just get that VP Racing Fuels banner removed from the back end of Darren McNamara's car, you can see Peter Hayden on the line, ready to rock and roll. And Darren McNamara takes a glance over, and he is ready for action. They come off the line. It will be McNamara now to chase in Hayden, and McNamara giving Hayden a little bit of room as McNamara just knocks clip point 2 cone out of the way.
Yeah, the line there from Darren McNamara, inch perfect all the way around that. Doing exactly what he needs to be doing. And just holding back a little bit here, he'll have the experience to know he has that 10-0 advantage. No need to push it, no need to risk the car here, as Hayden does everything he can to try and force a mistake from that lead position. Nails that qualifying line, but is it too little too late? I think it may just be.
So as I said earlier, yeah, very technical drive there from Peter Hayden. Does exactly what he does every time, puts it on the correct line, stays with it. And McNamara, good proximity, not on the door, but giving Hayden the room, like you said. Slide of left for Hayden, right for McNamara. Decisions in. Kieran David and Ryan is unanimous. Darren McNamara gets the win and advances through. Peter Hayden out of competition, and again, no reason to judge it back to the judges. 4 wheels off circuit from Hayden.
Yeah, Ian, pretty clear cut one. We move our attentions back to the start line where Brett Perry gets ready to take on Oliver Evans. Brett Perry qualifying nicely up the order, 13th position. Oliver Evans down the order just a little bit, but it's in the battles where this young man comes alive. Oh, but I'm just hearing.
We're going to cut to Nathan.
Nathan's down in the pits. Nathan, you got something for us?
So the battles are underway, and we are in for a little bit of a treat here. To the left of me, I have Mr. Greenrod. How you feeling? You're going up next to the Danish delight, Hayden Nielsen. Talk to me.
Talk to you. We're quite looking forward to it, to be fair. We're both running SR power, so it'll be interesting. You ain't got a clue what I'm going on about.
I got
see the blank expression on your face.
I got 2-litre diesel. Is it same as that?
Capacity-wise, yes.
See, I'm not that thick. So, and how are you feeling? Are you taking this strange-looking beast down, or has he got your number?
No, we're going to take him down.
All right, well, let's go and have a chat with the Hayden the Nightmare Nielsen. Talk to me. Sorry about that. You're an intimidating specimen, aren't you? Talk to me, my friend, please.
What are we talking about?
I just want to know how you're feeling. You're going up Mr. Greenrod.
I'm feeling okay, actually. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, no, we're feeling good. We're here, you know, hold on.
If you could let go of my microphone, that'd be really, really great. Don't touch me again. So, listen, he says he's got your number. Are you going to, is there any chance of you winning this here today? Are you just going to walk around and be a complete weirdo all the time?
We're probably going to be, you know, we're going to try and be a complete winner. Let's join the two.
We're never interviewing you again, my friend. Okay, thanks very much. Back to you guys. Thank you.
Nathan making friends there with Pete and Nielsen. Having the same problem you had, Eddie, with the microphone.
Yeah, Pete a little bit, you know, needs to, needs to learn about personal space, I think.
He's a good guy.
Good to see Nathan being made look a little bit uncomfortable, though. So we move it along to the battle that I was just about to go to. Brett Perry, Oliver Evans, a very interesting battle here. Evans qualifying down the order, as we were saying, Ian, but this guy comes alive in the chase position, and that's exactly where he's going to start this battle against Brett Perry. Brett Perry, though, is going to have other ideas, as he is on a stormer so far this weekend. He is looking really confident. See eyes on the circuit, very focused as he prepares himself to do battle with the VP Racing Westlake Tyre Oleco Drift Washloo S14 driver.
Off the line, as you say, Brett Perry in the lead position, Oliver Evans to give chase, but Oliver Evans, this is where he really thrives in these twin battles. And look at this, sets his car up perfectly on the door. Brett Perry's Nissan Skyline, nice transition back from Evans as he gives Perry some room to manoeuvre. Now starts to make a dive again on the door, goes Oliver Evans.
Yeah, this looks like a very clever and tactical approach here from Oliver Evans, not getting sucked in, not being over-aggressive, not costing himself any problems.
Oh, wow.
Just about gets away with it at the end, Ian.
Just as you said that, Eddie, he throws the kitchen sink into it. And,
yeah, but you know what? Steady proximity the entire way around the circuit, and the judges will be liking that, and that means Brett Perry's going to have to do something similar. Now, Brett Perry laid down a pretty strong lead line there, which makes it obviously that little bit easier for the chase driver, so it's up to Oliver Evans to try and replicate that as well.
It certainly is. We know Oliver Evans struggled in qualifying, like you say, qualified down the order. Brett Perry way up in the order in 13th place. Is he going to stick it to the door? Will he have the proximity and pace? We know Oliver Evans' new power plant under the bonnet of that car is absolutely singing. He's on fire. He's a very good lead driver as well, is Oliver Evans. And like I say, comes alive in the battles. What's he got? He leads out Brett Perry for a spot in top 16. Perry not letting him get out of his sight, though, as he makes a dive on the door initiation. Oliver Evans squeezes accelerator and now starts to drive away, but
yeah, Perry staying in this one though, Ian,
yeah,
and
Perry
he's
very much
right
in
there with him. And at this point, we had seen that a little bit more proximity from Evans, as Evans now starts to turn the screw and try and pull the gap here. Takes it out to the wall, but Perry now starts to close him down once more. Big dive down the center of the circuit as he deviates from that line to try and gain some last-ditch proximity. Just about doing enough, but I think the judges may penalise him very much offline as he made that dive.
Well, it looks like the judges are coming to their decision, as I can see them inputting their score into the system, and the graphic pops up. Who's going to take it through to the top 16, Evans or Perry? Kieran, David and Ryan make it unanimous. Oliver Evans gets the win, ladies and gentlemen. Brett Perry bows out of competition. Those two worthy contenders in our top 32, and Oliver Evans carrying that momentum from his win at the previous round in Three Sisters. We send it back to Dave Egan.
Yeah, good run there over both runs. Yeah, Brett had he had a good line there in the lead position on the first run. Oliver had, I mean, he kept proximity just about, like, but he did enough to take advantage of the first one. A little bit of error from both of them near the end there, but yeah, he takes advantage of the first one. The second one, yeah, Oliver has the pace, and Brett is having to cut the track slightly to keep up. He didn't massively cut the track, but he definitely did coming down towards clip 5. He didn't get into clip 5 at all. He had to cut that a bit back. And again, on the transition out towards the final wall, he cut there as well, trying to keep proximity. But I mean, obviously, we have to mark that back. So over both runs, Ollie Evans takes it.
There we go, Oliver Evans taking the win and advancing through to the top 16. Up next, Kevin Quinn to take on Anton Omar. I'm not going to forget his name ever again. That's never going to happen.
Look, we'll forgive you, Ian. I've been there in the past. I forget.
The internet won't.
Forget the names of people that I've known all my life. It's crazy what a little bit of pressure will do to you. But Kevin Quinn is on the line, and he has looked phenomenal all season long, and he is right up the championship order. What can Antoine Omar do into the chase position. Can he take down some
wow,
blood
look
here?
at this.
Oh, but way offline is Antoine Omar as he looks to go door to door and almost impedes the line of Kevin Quinn from where I'm watching. Ian.
Yeah, Antoine Omar really playing a dangerous game. He could get himself caught up ever so slightly here if he's not careful. Makes another dive to the door of Kevin Quinn's Quinn M Sport 180SX. Anton with him though the whole way round now. He's going to try and make another dive. He certainly does as Quinn takes it to the wall and across the line.
I gotta say, you wouldn't see that many dives at a football match, but certainly liking the aggression of Antoine Omar as he does his best to try and force an error. The Rockingham crowd here enjoying that one. Are you guys having a good time? There we go, Ian. They are loving this, loving the weather, loving the action, and things are hotting up. It's only top 32.
Don't wear them out just yet, Eddie. It's just the first bracket of top 32. We want them to have some excitement for the final four. But I know what you're saying. It's getting hot. It's getting heated. Those guys are back on the line and they are ready to run their second half of the battle. And Kevin Quinn now in that chase position. Anton Omar in the lead. Kevin Quinn ready to try and take him down. Both guys off the line. And look at this side-by-side aggression from Quinn as they fire it in on initiation. Anton Omar, absolutely lovely initiation and line from Omar. And nicely to the wall as Kevin Quinn follows him impeccably through the first half of this section. Anton Omar on an absolutely perfect lead line. Kevin Quinn now struggling to keep up. Shortcutting the circuit to gain proximity. Anton is flying in that lead position.
What a lead run from Anton Omar. I mean, wow, pulled it out of the bag, and for, you know what, he has Kevin Quinn on the ropes there, Ian. The only thing I'm thinking is if this goes back to the first half of this battle, as the judges call for a replay, if this goes back to the first half of this battle, is the over-aggression from Antoine Omar and the cutting the circuit, you can see here, just like way offline here, Ian, and could that be the difference? But what about a lead run from him?
Let me tell you something I just see on that bit of replay. Anton Omar hit his wheel on the front wheel of Kevin Quinn's car. That's what the judges were looking at. Did that put Kevin Quinn offline? Wheel-to-wheel contact.
Yeah, look, he shouldn't be that deep and that far forward in the chase
front of his
position.
car was impeding the front of Kevin Quinn's car. They're going to look at that as we can go back to a replay. You can see this. Watch initiation. Oh, this is the second half of the battle. Anton Omar, though, for me, what a lead run. If he would have done that in qualifying, he would have been way up the order.
Way up the order, and it just goes to show he was really just starting to get to grips with the circuit. And like, it's very minimal track time that these guys have, so when they come over, you know, it's very hard just to get completely settled immediately, and that's what you have to do in competition. But Kevin Quinn does a really good job in the chase position here, following that perfect line. I think the difference comes down to the couple of errors from Omar where he was overly aggressive in the chase position. But the beauty of it is, Ian, I don't have to make that decision. You don't have to make the decision. Guys are out of the cars. Give them a round of applause for Kevin Quinn and Anton Omar.
So judges still deliberating this one. Ryan Pothecary putting in his half of the fight, talking about contact and line, and judges discussing this one intently. This one could go either way. Who wants to see Anton Omar take the win? Who wants to see Kevin Quinn take the win? Who wants to see him go one more time? I think they want to see it one more time. I think I want to see it one more time. Well, it looks like the judge's decision is in. Who's going to take it through to the top 16? Who is going to take it through to the top 16? Kieran, David and Ryan. So Ryan says one more time. David says Anton Omar. Kieran Hinds says Anton Omar gets the win and advances through to the top 16. Judges are completely split there. We need to come back to you.
Yeah, interesting one there. Look, it comes down to the first run, and that's why we looked at it on the replay. Quinn, I mean, there's a lot of smoke out there on the replay, but what you can see is Quinn enters fine. He gets to clipping to point 2, fine. And then after that, he decides to cut the track massively. He doesn't go anywhere near the wall on clip 3. In fact, he takes a midline through the track, which essentially pins Omar into the middle of the track where he makes an error, but he can't really go anywhere. He's not getting the full lead line in front of him to actually chase to the door. And when he transitions back, Omar gets back in the fight. He does a great finish to the run. Both guys finish it out, so the advantage was with Omar after the first run. Second run, Quinn's making errors. Between the wall on clipping zone 3 and 4, he actually straightens in the middle of the transition, has to kind of adjust his angle or get back on it again. He's then losing ground to Omar, so he starts to cut the track in certain areas. And Omar probably put in the best run he's done all day in the lead position. So, you know, I could see where Ryan is coming from, but for me, that big mistake from clipping zone 2 to 3 from Quinn's lead run and then cutting the track in the chase, I don't think it was deserving of a victory. And to be fair, Omar put in 2 very, very good runs.
Well, there you go, Eddie. Omar getting the win and advances through to the top 16. We move it along. Mr. Serious up next to take on Richard Greenrod. Look at that race suit, Eddie.
Yeah, look at that.
People messaging me intently, asking me where they can get a hoodie from that. And
look at that depth there as well.
You can't get them.
Crazy.
I've tried. I tried to get the last 2. So on the line, Hayden Nielsen to lead out Richard Greenrod. Richard Greenrod having some fun time there in that SR20 powered S15 off the line though. Mr. Serious, can he keep it strictly business as they fire it in? Nice initiation, but look at Greenrod all over the side of Peter Nielsen's.
Yeah, Greenrod going very aggressive here. Needs to just control it so that he doesn't get caught. A few little waivers there from him as he just struggles, but he's on a very shallow line now. He's going to get caught out here as Peden takes it right out to the wall, and Greenrod is just, yeah, this is what we talked about, struggling, getting himself out of position, over-aggressive, and then straightens massively, and I think massive advantage here to Peden Nielsen.
Like you say, a massive advantage there for Peter Nielsen. Straight in there for Greenrod.
Yeah, could we see a 5-minute rule here for Richard Greenrod? As it appeared that he lost power, Ian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 5-minute rule, there you go.
5-minute rule called for Richard Greenrod.
So maybe issues with the car causing him to be a little bit off line and not be able to chase the way he would have wanted. But Peden Nielsen will be sitting at that saying, you know what, it doesn't matter what way it went. I've got the advantage going into the second half of this one. It looks as though we're going to move on to our next battle and the second side of the top 32 bracket, which will see Alan Hinds taking on Scott Cartilage. Scott Cartilage qualifying way down the order in 31st position. He's going to be up against one of the rising stars of European drifting, Alan Hinds, second place qualifier here this morning. Looking to add to his silverware here this weekend, if he can do so. As we mentioned, this guy, the king of online drifting, now looking to become the king of real-world drifting.
Yeah, Alan Hinds making the trip over, and long time we've been waiting to see this young gentleman come to the UK. Like we say, renowned online for his online gaming experience. He puts it into the real-world factor, though, Eddie, and jumps inside that 2JZ-powered Group D Pro Drift Academy S14. And now our 2017 Pro-Am champion, Scott Cartilage, has got a task in his hands. Can he take him down? We're about to find out as they come off the line. Alan Hinds to lead, Scott Cartilage to give chase. UK versus Ireland.
Oh, just what we didn't expect to see from Alan Hinds. Wheels off track as Scott Cartilage looked to go deep onto the door there, getting a little bit caught out, but Alan Hinds gets it back together. Now Scott Cartilage lost some ground with that error from Alan Hinds. Bumpers trailing as Scott Cartilage battles his way back into this one. Can he find the door of Alan Hinds through the latter stage of the circuit? He certainly can, as they take it out to the wall one more time. Rockingham makes some noise for Alan Hinds and Scott Cartilage.
Very uncharacteristic there of young Alan Hinds.
I was just about to say, as we left the line, we expect Alan Hinds to go and put in a perfect, near perfect lead run. However, almost going 4 wheels off track there, Ian, for me, and a big error causing a lot of disrupt to Scott Cartilage's line.
As you mentioned, yeah, completely through Scott Cartilage. He wasn't expecting Alan Hinds to go off track there. Alan Hinds, you can see the back of that car, not looking too happy after this weekend, but nevertheless, it's off the line with Cartilage to lead out Hinds. And Hinds makes a big dive onto the back bumper of Cartilage's car. Cartilage squeezes the accelerator and that starts to pull away as he puts that car to the wall. Alan Hinds, though, right with him.
Yeah, Cartilage very good through clip 1 and 2, but now starting to come offline just ever so slightly.
Look at this.
Hinds not able to keep with him here, though, keep with the pace of the 2017 Pro-Am champ. Can he find some proximity to the last corner? Or will it be Scott Cartilage moving on to the top 16? They cross the line. It's down to the judges to make their decision.
As we await the decision to drop in from our judges, who is going to take it through to the top 16? Alan Hinds with that huge error in the lead run. Could that be enough to put Scott Cartilage into a good position? We await the graphic to appear on our screen. As both those guys wait patiently in the car. Who's going to take it through? Slide them left for Scott Cartilage, right for Alan Hinds, Kieran, David and Ryan. Kieran says Cartilage. David and Ryan make it unanimous. Scott Cartilage, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win. Your 2017 Pro-Am champion gets a turn of fortune. We go to our judges for that one.
Yeah, scrappy battle there from two guys who are actually driving very well today. Alan Hinds, it all comes down to that first corner on his lead run. He puts 2 wheels off. He's got to back out of it completely. That completely messes up Cartilage. He's got to back out of it as well. Now, even though that was a huge mistake from Alan Hinds, as it went on, the battle, Cartilage just fell apart, got really, really bad after that. So where he had a huge advantage to me, he started clawing it down a little bit. So I kind of finished the first run at a 6-4 to Cartilage, sort of easing off some of the deductions to Hinds. However, on the second run, Cartilage came out swinging, great run. Not super neat towards the end, but the start of it was pretty good, and Alan just didn't bring any fight, so didn't really give himself any favours there to get back into the fight. So a 5-5 on the second, so the 6-4 to Cartilage on the first, enough to get him the win.
There we go, Scott Cartilage taking the win and advancing through to the top 16. Eddie, and I do believe we're going to have a chat with your mate, your new commentator, potentially. Your replacement. Could be your replacement, yeah.
Quite possibly. Wish him all the best.
Nathan Black, where you at, mate?
Danker, chaps. Yes, I am down here. We've got a rather exciting battle just coming up. I'm here with the mighty Mitch Larner, the Thunder from down under, in his apple green machine. Mitch, what's that you're doing there? Just stand still for me, okay? Tell the world why you've come all the way here to the great land of Britain to win here today at the BDC.
Yeah, I just want to prove myself to the world, and the guy in a white one, I hear you like it. And, you know, had a bit of a rivalry this year. I think it's time to end that, so coming out and push hard. So.
You're talking about my main man, Dwayne McKeever. You say you've got his number?
Oh, I've already got his number, don't worry about that. But yeah, we're going to be pushing hard this weekend, and hopefully we can meet him soon, and we can finally lay it all out on the table and see where we end up.
All right, Mitch. Well, I don't mean to say you may be overlooking something, but there's a rather tall chap over there in a bright orange car that might have something to say about that. So while you hang fire, I'm going to have a chat with Mr. Phil Morrison. Mitch, been a pleasure. Mr. Morrison, how are you? Absolute pleasure. Now, you're going up, he basically there just went, I'm going to go up against Dwayne, which kind of just, he might have just shunned you aside. Now, from what I hear, you're not a man to be messed with. Talk to me.
Disposable, apparently.
And your reply to that is, of course, you're not thinking that.
No. Apples and oranges, we've got this. Oranges win, don't they?
Yeah, they certainly do. This is tangier. Now, when you do go through to this, well, I've got to go a bit of a question. Is it true that are you the new owner of the BDC? I hear you're not, shy of a few coin. You know what I mean? That's what they tell me. Yeah.
Is that right? Well, apparently we find out later. But
it's nothing you can give away.
Not me personally.
Okay, if you bought it, forget this kind of stuff. I'll make tea and coffee, whatever you want. I'll shine cars. You let me know. I'll work for minimum wage, all right? So just keep me in mind. I'll give you a CV. No worries. Good luck, all right? Thanks. Back to you.
Thanks, Nathan. Desperately trying to keep his job. Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, I need to be out there canvassing for myself the way he is. I mean, he's dedicated. If I was the new owner, I'd take him on.
Yeah?
Oh, wait, no. So, second half of this one to come. Pete Nielsen, Richard Greenrod.
Yeah, Richard Greenrod now in that lead position. Problems with the car, handing Pete Nielsen what we assume is a 10-0 advantage. They come off the line and a nice initiation there for Greenrod. Oh, and Nielsen goes wide, taking the cone out 3 wheels off track from what it looks like where I'm sitting. Gives Greenrod a sizable opportunity to pull away. Is that enough to overturn the 10-0 deficit? I'm not sure, but Greenrod stays in it, puts the car to the wall, and starts to pull even more of a gap between him and Mr. Serious as they come across the line, Eddie.
Yeah, this one
hangs in the balance.
Really hangs in the balance, because it's all going to come down to that first run, I think, and what way the judges deemed it. Will they confirm, as you said, that possible 10-0? We await to find out. Side left for Greenrod, right for Nielsen, Kieran, David and Ryan. Kieran Hinds says Pete Nielsen. David and Ryan follow suit. Pete Nielsen moves on to the top 16.
No need to go back to our judges for that. A huge straighten for Richard Greenrod. Couldn't be overturned. We move it along to the next battle of the day, which will be Andrew Earl to take on Ollie Elmore.
Now,
and Ollie Elmore looked so cool, calm and collected on that top 32 Pro Race Unreal. I walked up to him, he just had a little grin on his face, and he even looked at me as if to say, this Pro-Am guy's got no chance. But you cannot count Andy Earl out of any fight.
And guess what? Andy Earl's the higher qualifier here. It may only be by 3 positions, but he's the higher qualifier. He's going to be leading them in, and that is going to play on the mind of the pro veteran. This is a Pro-Am driver with 2 second-place finishes under his belt already this season. Could we see him creep his way into the top 16? Andrew Earl will certainly believe as though he has the stuff to do it here against Ollie Elmore. Here we go. Earl leads them in. Elmore follows suit. Nice line from Andy Earl as he takes it nice and wide, collecting those clips as he goes, and now starts to put a little bit of a gap over Elmore. But Elmore, as they come down the hill, starts to hunt the door side by side, just touching those front brakes to try and control the aggression here as he chews down on the door of Andrew Earl. But what about that for a lead run from Andrew Earl, and a fantastic battle between these two guys looking to gain a position in the top 16, Ian.
Very, very good battle there from both those guys, and for me, absolutely incredible stuff there from Ollie Elmore in the second half of that run. Made the dive down on outer zone 5, so he started pushing in that deacceleration zone. Really good stuff there from Elmore. Can he keep it up, or can he drive away, more importantly, in the lead run? And
well, I think he's going to know here. The spotters will be in the radio to him, letting him know that if you pull a gap here, if you put in a good lead line and you pull a gap, you will be going through to the top 16. Pressure on Andrew Earl now. He needs to replicate it. He's been doing a good job nailing that qualifying line all weekend, but he has got to now match the pace of Elmore, and right now finds himself with a bit of a distance between him and the lead driver. Can he close it down, Ian? He needs to be glued to that door now for the remainder of this circuit to have any hope. The lead line by Elmore, not perfect though by any stretch of the imagination, could be deeper into those outer zones.
He certainly couldn't. Here comes Andy Earl. Andy Earl now shortcut the circuit a little bit to try and gain proximity. Gets on the door, but now gets lost again as Elmore squeezes the throttle and starts to drive away. This one, a tough one.
Yeah,
very tough battle.
Because I think, you know, when you go back to the lead line from Andy Earl, it was pretty solid. Very good chase though, but the lead line from where I was watching, not maybe as technically good for Elmore, but certainly Earl unable to match that proximity. So glad not to be a judge on this one, Ian.
Same. I mean, that's going to be very, very difficult, and I can see our judges deliberating that one, talking about it. Who knows what way it's going to go? Like, say, Ollie Elmore with that very aggressive proximity and the very aggressive dives through the second half of Andy Earl's lead, and no proximity really from Andy Earl in the chase. Judges talking about this one intently. A lot on the line for these guys. You know, spotting the top 16.
Yeah, I mean, how huge would that be for the Pro-Am driver? But also, you know, Ollie Elmore, this is his Pro Championship that he wants to, you know, try and finish as high as possible, and valuable points up for grabs today. And of course, going into the off season with a strong result will just keep that hunger alive for the season to come. So both drivers just having a little bit of a discussion about it themselves. Result coming through to our screens. Will it be Elmore? Will it be Earl? Kieran, David and Ryan, who's going through to the top 16? Ryan Potticary says one more time. David Egan says one more time. Kieran Hinds makes it 3 for 3. We're going one more time. Judges, no separating them over the 2 runs.
Yeah, so
with Andrew leading, it was a good lead, but he did put wheels off at two different parts of the track. Ollie chased hard, but it wasn't very clean. He was making mistakes, just sort of corrections throughout. When they swapped round, Ollie's lead wasn't as good. Didn't drop wheels, but wasn't quite as wide out to the track. But Andrew didn't bring the same kind of proximity to the chase. He was almost twice as far back as Ollie was in his chase. So we had a very slight advantage to each lead driver. We need to see a better, clear winner.
There we go, clear winner needed. So we're going to wait for those guys to get their cars fixed, and we're going to move on to the next battle. It's going to be Ryan Caldwell to take on Lee Barker, and like I said earlier, Lee Barker going to be looking to throw that young guy out of the competition.
Yeah, look, Caldwell half the age of Barker, but Barker up against it here because while Barker may be the pro, Ryan Caldwell, pro-am in nature.
Yep, as the young gun from Northern Ireland fires it in. Look at Lee Barker though, and this is not the first time we've seen him with some serious proximity and bringing the fight, but he gets himself caught up in the middle of the circuit and wavers.
Yeah, had to back out of that transition just because he got caught up in it. It cost him a lot of ground, but he's pulled himself back into this one. But Caldwell doing a really good job, as we see it straighten from Barker there in the chase position, just knowing that he has to be so aggressive and keep as close as possible to Caldwell as he can. But you know, those couple of errors could be the difference here, because I don't expect to see Caldwell make similar errors in that chase position. A master at such a young age already, but who knows?
Who knows indeed, Eddie, who knows? A few errors, like you say, from Lee Barker in that chase position, but so much aggression. We know Ryan Caldwell is going to bring the fight. They're back on the line. They are ready for action. Barker to lead out Caldwell for the second half of the battle. And look at this, Caldwell not giving Barker an inch. Oh, side by side
Look at the angle, Ian.
Wow!
Unbelievable. Door to door. Caldwell right there with Barker as they throw it to the wall.
Look at this from Caldwell as he fires it back on the back bumper. Lee Barker on an absolutely perfect lead line so far. Ryan Caldwell hunts him down. Barker throws more angle to it. And Ryan Caldwell now gets back into it again as they transition in the centre of the circuit. Caldwell going to be looking for the door one more time. Bam! There he is as they go to the wall and across the line. Parts go flying. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Wow.
Insane stuff from both of these guys, putting it all on the line, leaving nothing to chance.
That initiation from Ryan Caldwell was simply phenomenal.
So here we go, Ian. Who's going through? Is it going to be Barker? Is it going to be Caldwell? Kieran Hinds says Ryan Caldwell, David Egan, Ryan Caldwell, Ryan Pottigary makes it unanimous. Guys, raise the roof for Ryan Caldwell. Judges, what an insane chase run from the young gun. What a battle.
Incredible battle, and to be honest, he had no right not to hit him in those two situations. It actually was a big risk to take. He got away with it, and we were looking for that contact. It wasn't there. From the first half of the track, Caldwell had a huge advantage. Barker's making some errors, not on the perfect line, and Caldwell does well to deal with it. Not the perfect first runs from either drivers either, and Barker, though, however, in the chase position, he gets caught badly from clipping zone 3 to 4. He has to straighten out. He goes on the wrong line. He gets caught again coming towards clipping zone 6, straightens up again. So, to be honest, Barker was going really aggressive. He threw everything in the kitchen sink at him, but Caldwell just had that bit of extra something towards the end and took a big risk and took the win.
Well, there we go, and we're heading back to the line to the one more time battle of Andrew Earl to take on Ollie Elmore. These guys felt each other out a little bit now, Eddie, so they know the ropes. These guys get a little bit more confidence in each other, pushing each other a little bit harder this time. Andrew Earl to lead out Ollie Elmore in the one more time battle, and look at this from Elmore on the back bumper, almost contact from Elmore, but Andrew Earl sacrificing out of zone 2 to get it online.
Yeah, way offline from Andrew Earl, but big proximity and big risks here. Oh, Andrew Earl once again way offline. I'm not sure what happened with Elmore in the distance. He gets lost in the smoke, but this has not been a perfect lead run from Andrew Earl, and that all important. Is it the line that's caused the problem for Elmore, or was it just a simple mistake from him in the chase position? That'll be for the judges to decide, and I'd say that they will pay close attention to a replay on this one.
They certainly will, Eddie, and yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to want to see a replay of this, and I can see them radioing through to our replay guys. Look at this on initiation, though. Big aggression as Elmore dives. You can see him just touch the foot brake. Look at Andrew Earl, though, completely sacrificing out of zone 2. Gets on the wrong line, makes it to the wall. Elmore, good transition back. This is where it goes wrong. Yeah, look, wheel over for... So Andrew Earl is technically way offline. Elmore is expecting him to wash to the wall. He doesn't. Elmore then kind of shuts it down a little bit, makes an error himself, has to get back into it. For me, I feel Andrew Earl's made more errors and that Ollie Elmore's got the advantage in the first half of the battle.
Yeah, I think I'd be inclined to agree with you. And, you know, for Andrew Earl, we know he's capable of it. It's about that consistency, though. Now, he needs to just find something really, really special here in the chase position. He's exactly where he needs to be to try and overturn the disadvantage. Side by side in as they leave the traps. Fired into the first corner. Elmore on a good line here.
Elmore on a very good lead line. Look at this, absolutely perfect. So up to this point, nice to the wall. Andrew Earl given the opportunity now to get nice and personal with Ollie Elmore. Ollie Elmore not as deep into that wall as we'd like to see him, but he stays consistently on throttle all the way through out of zone 5, back on throttle again. Look at Andrew Earl, though, bringing the fight, makes a dive onto the door of Ollie Elmore. They transition back. Elmore sticks it into the outer zone. And Andrew Earl right with him side by side as they come across the line.
Yeah, Andrew Earl bringing the fight through the final sections of the circuit. But Elmore, you got to say, a much cleaner lead run from Elmore as the judges call for a replay of the first run of this one. Just see how far offline Andrew Earl is.
Not a good choice there for Andrew Earl. This is the worst bit for me. Drops a wheel over there. We've not seen anybody that shallow before, and it's completely wrong line as he comes to the wall. Throws Ollie Elmore way off. If I'm right in my thinking, I can see Ollie Elmore taking an advantage in this and getting the win, personally.
Yeah, obviously in the corner of my fellow Irishman, but I think for Andrew Earl, that is all she wrote. But
I'm not sure. I'm hearing different mixed views from the judges over there. I'm hearing someone should have done this, someone should have done that. So I'm not sure really. I think we could be wrong.
Yeah, look, just remember as well, Ian, we're watching it on a monitor. They're watching it directly from the circuit.
Real life.
Yeah. So we don't have the job and the responsibility of making this decision. That's why everybody loves us, I think, anyway.
No.
And I hope.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So here we are. The judges' result is in. Is it Elmore? Is it Earl? Kieran Hinds says Andrew Earl. David Egan says Andrew Earl. Ryan Pothecary makes it unanimous. Judges, we saw it one way, but you guys see it a different way. Talk us through it from the professional and rule books end of things.
Thanks, Eddie. Okay, so scratch the second run. That was a pretty even affair between both guys, and both guys did a great job there. It comes down to the first run, and in very many ways, the first half of the track. On initiation, Earl is terrible. Terrible initiation, terrible through the first corner, and at this point, it's Ollie Elmore's all day. When they transition, Earl is terrible again. He's on the inside of the track. And at this point, Elmore has a massive advantage. He's a huge advantage. You're talking 9.182. However, Ollie Elmore then, in many ways, we would say, should either follow the lead car or whatever he did, he backed out of the wall for some reason. And then he decided to just drive straight for a very long period of time. And that activated a 10-0 for us because he stopped drifting for a long period of time. Anything else, and he would have had a 9.182, but he stopped drifting and caused a 10-0. It wasn't a 10-0 up to that point on Earl's behalf. So even though Elmore was the better driver, technically he stopped drifting right in front of us here for a large period of time and activated a 10-0. So very unfortunate for him.
Well, there you go. Ollie Elmore straightening massively. Eddie knocking himself out of the fight. Up next is a big fight on Liam Devlin's hands. Can he take down Simon Perry in that Nissan R35 GTR?
I think this is a very, very interesting battle, and one that people may not look at and say, oh, that's going to be a cracker. You have two very aggressive drivers here. A driver in Simon Perry who's very, very confident in his own ability and has proven his ability countless times. Devlin, though, one of the most exciting drivers to ever be produced from the Irish Isle. And he is coming here with no fear of Simon Perry, throwing in big angle to get on the door of that massive R35 GTR of Simon Perry. He's right there with him as Perry looks to take it to the wall. Devlin keeping that proximity, keeping the throttle pinned as they come down to the slowing section of the circuit into the teardrop. Devlin stays in the fight here as Perry looks to finish his drifting campaign for 2018 with a spot in the top 16. I don't know. a very interesting one there. Devlin doing a lot for his campaign here and his cause. Could we see him take down one of the veterans of British drifting, Simon Perry?
I think you're right, Eddie. I was watching it, sat back, took a good look at the monitor, and for me, Simon Perry dropped a lot of outer zones. Cut the circuit, got offline here and there. It wasn't a clean lead from Simon Perry. So if Devlin can put down a perfect lead run, like he did it in qualifying, and give Simon Perry something to try and chase, this could be in the hands of Liam Devlin right now.
Yeah, the only thing about Devlin is that he's wild, so it's hard to know what to expect here. As they go side to side down the straight, Devlin fires it in, big angle. Not the perfect line, but a nice wide line through clip 1 and 2. Can he keep it nice and wide to the wall? He can. But right there with him is Simon Perry, sideways side. Keeps himself in this one. Nice and wide to clip 5 from Devlin as he looks to take it to the penultimate wall. Perry glued to him, door to door as they come back up the hill towards the grandstand. Filling those outer zones once again. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for sideways side and Liam Devlin.
Well, Simon Perry makes his way back to the line in spectacular fashion, as we always expect from Simon Perry. And the judges are discussing this one. As they get out of the cars, ladies and gentlemen, hit them with a wall of sound. Give it up for Liam Devlin and Simon Perry. They're having fun, Eddie.
They're having fun.
I'm having fun. You guys at Rockingham having some fun? I'm going to let you off.
Yeah.
It's still early days, They've had some roaring as well. Who's going to take it through top 16? Liam Devlin, Simon Perry. Ryan Apothecary says one more time. David Egan says one more time. Kieran Hinds makes it unanimous. We're going to see him go at it one more time. Judges, we're just going to quickly get a word with you. No separating those two guys.
Yeah, to be honest with you, watching that, it's pretty mirror image. I mean, both guys did a great job in the lead. And I would say the only little differentiation there is that Simon Perry makes a mistake towards the end of his lead run from 7. He misses 7 and he just sort of doesn't really go to the wall. However, he makes up for that with a little bit more proximity in the chase position, so it sort of balances him off. He's a better chase run and a little worse of a lead run, so it balances Devlin in the middle. And to be honest with you, we'd really be having to force a decision to make any one way or the other. So one more time, I think the fair call there, and let them go back at it again.
Well, there you go, one more time for those guys, not splitting them, Eddie. And we're going to go have a chat with my good friend Nathan Black. Apparently he's upsetting some more people in the pits. Nathan Black, where are you at?
I am down here where the action is getting hot and heavy, and we have another battle upon our hands here. I'm here with the friendly lion, Mike Walton. Talk to me, Mr. Friendly. You're going up against Mike Carter here, the door hugger. Are you scared, or are you feeling full of beans?
Full of beans. Yeah, I can't wait to have a go against Matthew. He's kind of taught me most of what I know in drifting anyway. We've been friends for many years, so...
The student battles the teacher. So you've taken his skills, his nuggets of knowledge, and you're going to turn them on him. Is that correct?
That's the aim of the game, yeah. We'll see if we can do that.
So, win today, go home, have a shave, and everyone's happy. All right, we'll catch up. We're going to go and speak to Matt Carter. Hold on now, don't go anywhere. I'm serious. What's happening, buddy? Good to see you. Last time, last time I saw you, we were down and you had given me a lesson on drifting, which I don't remember at all. But you're back here now. I did see we were across the pond. You were smashing it up over that way. What have you got here today? If you drive today like you drove there, you could have a future. Today's winner right in front of me.
We're bringing it. You know. You say against Mike Walton, good friend, sponsor. Yeah, taught him what he knows. Hopefully not too well. But we're bringing it.
Friends outside of drifting, but not once the engines have started. I wish you all the best. You the man. Back to you guys. Let's go.
Thanks, Nathan. Next battle on the line, ready to rock and roll. The Thunder from Down Under. Mitch Lana takes on Phil Morrison, the man behind Driftworks. Eddie, this one, V8 versus V8.
Yeah, this is Thunder versus Thunder, really.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a seriously good battle. These guys know messing around. We know Mitch Lana wants to take a victory here this weekend. He wants to try and take down Dwayne and McKeever on any form of soil.
Let me just say one thing, right? Mitch Larner has podiumed at every single round he's competed at this year. That's something that Dwayne McKeever can't even boast. So here we go, off the line. Mitch Larner, Phil Morrison, the boss at Driftworks, looking to take down the Aussie. And right now, Larner, a little bit shallow on some of the
Yeah,
pulling the gap nonetheless.
Yeah, not the perfect lead line so far from Mitch Larner, and Phil Morrison not really got an answer, not really sticking it to the door like we don't expect to see. A wide transition from Morrison. He's going to make the dive onto the door, but he's way offline. A huge straighten for Phil Morrison across the finish line. Mitch Larner doing everything he could out front to try and escape. He knows Morrison's car is very fast.
Yeah, not the run I was expecting to see from these two absolute titans of the sport, but nonetheless, we switch them around and get ready for the second half of this one, where Mitch now will, as you can see, this car sporting some battle scars. It is taking one hell of a beating over the course of the 2018 season. The Aussie flag flies proud on the rear end as Phil Morrison.
Whoa! Wow!
Contact through the first corner.
Contact in the first corner as Mitch Larner gets over aggressive. Well, not sure what way the judges are going to call that one, Eddie. That one is going to be a very tough decision. A replay is going to be needed, that's for sure, as these guys finish up their run.
I think we could be here till Tuesday waiting to find out what exactly happened on that one. I mean, was it over-aggression? Was there a slowing? So many possibilities. I, for one, couldn't exactly take it in. We go to the replay because very hard to see that in real time as to exactly what happened.
Just looked to me like it was over-aggression from Larner.
Yeah, I mean, did Larner hit Phil with the rear end of his car as he over-rotates? Did he have to over-rotate because, did he expect Phil to be quicker through that first corner?
I'm not sure.
Mitch is very similar to Oliver Evans in his approach to things, and it's very much like, he was too slow. It was just too slow. What was he doing?
It was a very brave initiation from Mitch Larner.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, you could be going in 100%, and Mitch Larner and Ollie Evans will tell you that you were going too slow.
The judges just wanted to see the replay of the initiation. Well, does it look like maybe the decision is in, or are they those guys? Yeah, no, trying to just see the replay from the initiation.
Yeah, they wanted to see the full replay here because they just keep catching just the end of it. That won't do. Here we go. This is what we need to see.
Phil Morrison's not on throttle though.
No, certainly not. It looks to me.
Phil Morrison isn't on throttle.
It looks
from
to
the
me
initiation,
as though he's very slow.
Is he off throttle, letting the car wash into the first turn? Watch the rear tyres on Phil Morrison's car. No smoke.
No smoke.
Oh, I'm not trying to tip this in anyone's favour here. I'm not, just observing what I can see. Who wants Mitch Larner to go through to the top 16? Who wants to see Phil Morrison take it through to the top 16? Who wants to see it one more time? Yeah, the drivers want it one more time. Not sure what way the judges are going to go with this one, though, and it looks like the decision may be in.
No.
No, a replay again. Judges not really.
Who wants to see that these two guys battle it out for the next hour doing backies into the first corner?
I'm sure Mitch Larner will be down for that.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to, we're silent here because we're just trying to get a quick listen in with what the judges are talking about, just trying to get some inside information, and they're saying the back hits first and not the front.
Yeah.
And
by the sounds of things, they know less about this than we do.
Yeah, I've already got it dialed. I know what I want. I want it one more time. I want to see him go at it, hammer and tong, no messing around.
Yeah, so here we go. The result that we have been waiting for is about to drop in on our screen. Will it be Morrison? Will it be Larner? Side of left for Morrison, right for Larner. Kieran Hinds goes with Morrison. One vote for the Driftworks driver. 2 votes. 3 votes, all judges in favour of Phil Morrison progresses through. We go back to the judges, a difficult one. Talk us through what you were thinking.
Not as difficult as you might imagine. We were just looking to see if there was anything that we didn't originally see. I mean, where we view it from is probably even a better standpoint than the actual replays, because we don't have the smoke cloud to worry about. Essentially what it looked like to me is they both came in pretty hot. Larner came in with a lot of confidence in Phil Morrison, and Phil Morrison's car itself is very much sort of slows down a little bit dramatically. It's a deceleration area of the track, so it's not something that we have a problem with. He's been doing it all day. And again, if you're in the chase position, you have to anticipate what the lead car is going to do there or how much it's going to decelerate. He didn't decelerate untoward. He didn't spin out because he spun out because Larner hit him. Larner actually hit him with the rear end of the car to cause Phil to spin. Is it perfect from either driver? No, but we can't point the blame at Phil Morrison because he just entered as he normally did. He decelerated as normally did, and I think he was going to make clipping zone 2 anyway, as he's been doing. So Larner just came in way too hot, too aggressive, obviously trying to put on a show for the fans, and unfortunately on that occasion made too much contact, and from where we're sitting, went too hot and lost the battle for himself.
Well, there we go. Mitch and Anna out of competition, and we throw it back to the one more time of Simon Perry and Liam Devlin. Judges not splitting them, saying that Simon Perry's mistakes overturned his good chase. Liam Devlin now, though, knows exactly where to stick it. And look at that, it's right on the back bumper of that R35 GTR.
Yeah, he's going for it right here, Ian. He is coming to take down.
Wow.
Oh, look at this. Big improvement from Devlin, but a quality lead line from Simon Perry. Can Devlin say it? He certainly can. Makes another dive onto the door, and he is right with Simon Perry as he chews down the rear end of that GTR. Perry now looks to take it to the wall. Can he find some extra pace as they claw their way up the hill? He pulls a little bit of a gap as Devlin comes offline, but Devlin throws caution to the wind as they go for the wall. And across the line, big run from both drivers, big improvement.
Yeah, a massive improvement there from Liam Devlin. The proximity was just insane, especially on the initiation through that first turn into outer zone 2. And Phil Morrison not really making those mistakes that he made in the first half of the battle, except for Liam Devlin dropping off track. Sorry, Simon Perry, my bad. Getting confused here, really.
It's just not a day for you and names.
Names. It's been a long season.
It has. We've come across a lot of names.
A lot of names.
Yeah. So here we go, second half of this one. If it's anything like the first half, we are in for a treat. Devlin to lead in Perry. Perry needs to go close, and that Devlin needs to put in that good quality lead line. He's doing just that. Just comes a little bit shallow though, as Perry goes wide, keeping it pinned to that outer line, but losing some ground as they make their way up towards the grandstand. Rear wheels inside that clip zone for Devlin. Perry not able to match the proximity. Devlin
Perry
takes
not
it
in
to
this.
the wall.
Perry not matching the proximity. Oh, stalls the car up massively as Devlin sticks it to the wall. Perry finds the side of that car, but it could be too much too late.
Yeah, almost a rolling burnout there for Simon Perry as he needs to wait for Devlin to transition back. And yeah, certainly not wasn't the perfect lead line from Devlin, but certainly not the perfect chase run either. I think this could be swinging in the favour of Devlin. I just don't know.
Well, judges are still discussing this one. Not completely decided just yet, as we await for them to put their scores in. And the scores drop into our system. Who's taking it through to the top 16? Will it be Simon Perry or will it be Liam Devlin? Kieran says Simon. David says Simon. It's unanimous. Simon Perry gets the win and advances through to the top 16. Liam Devlin out of competition. Judges, we throw it back to you one more time, getting the decision in the end.
Yeah, looking at the first round there, Simon, as he's doing all day, very, very good lead run. Made no errors this time on 7-8 like he did in the first battle. So good lead line. And Liam has great proximity through all of the course, except the only error he makes is actually coming from just after 6 there when he transitioned. He transitioned a little bit too early and fell away a tiny bit. So that's the only real error. He still comes away with a slight advantage, bearing in mind that Simon had put in a really good lead line and made it very easy for him to chase. When you swap it around, Liam's line is not quite as good. Coming to 2, from 1 to 2 out to 3, he's a little bit off the white line there. He's not quite on the white line. And again, near the end of the course there, again, he's a little bit off. So it's a little bit more difficult to chase for Simon. Simon does a good job. He keeps proximity all the way through. And, you know, again, that kind of comes to like a 6-4 again. But when you compare the two leads, Simon takes it over the 2 runs because he has the better lead and he made it easier for Liam to chase.
There we go. Simon Perry getting the win and taking the through to the top 16. We move it along. The battle of Team Jap Speed on the line. GT86 versus RX8. Matthew Denham to take on Paul Smith.
Yeah, similar horsepower underneath the bonnet of both these two. Very different chassis. And Paul Smith, he'd be looking to keep himself in the hunt for a good championship finish. But teammate Matt Denham will be looking to spoil the party as they take it through the first few zones. And Denham right there with his teammate, door to door.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, tagging the front wheel off the door of Paul Smokey Smith. As Smith now looks to try and find some pace in that GT86 and put a little bit of a gap. Not the perfect lead line, a very difficult line for Denham to try and chase her in.
As you said, Eddie, very difficult for Denham to chase, but he did a very good job nonetheless. And absolutely flying was Denham in that chase position. A few mistakes from Smokey Smith.
Yeah, look, I think this one is going to come down to the second run because certainly just wasn't tidy that first half of this one. As so the cloud cover enters the camera shot and we lose our perfectly blue skies. Maltz gives them the orders. We are ready for the second half of this one. We are ready to send them off the line. Denham to lead them in. And again, just not the perfect line through 1 and 2 from the lead driver, making it difficult for the chase driver to try and chase. Matt Denham, can he find a gap here? Can he find some pace and pull away from Paul Smith and pull himself into a top 16 spot? One of these Maxxis drivers will be going through, but which one's it going to be? It hasn't been the perfect battle from either of these two by any stretch of the imagination, but one of them will be going through, or will we see a one more time? I am not quite sure, Ian.
I'm not quite sure either, Eddie. That was a very good lead and chase from Paul Smokey Smith and Matt Denham. And the judges deliberate in this one. Again, these battles are not as clear-cut as they would seem.
Yeah, hugs all around from two teammates that are very good friends and cone killers. You can't take that with you, Matt. So right now, Matt's saying, "I'm sorry, mate, I got really close to you there. Apologies."
The most apologetic man in UK drifting. Yeah, he apologises for everything.
The sharpshooter, wave to the crowd. Guys, give them both a round of applause. Two teammates coming up against each other.
And judges were wanting to see a replay of this one again. This is not going to be an easy day for these guys. This is the lead run of Paul Smokey Smith as Smokey fires it in. Gets on a midline, good proximity there from Matt Denham. Gets to the wall, nice transition back. Denham makes a dive, almost tags the door of Smokey's car, but Smokey doesn't get all the way out to that outer zone, then kind of shortcuts the circuit a little bit to try and gain a little bit of ground. Gets back into it, gets on a good line, shallow there on outer zone 6. Nice transition. Denham with him though the whole way as they head towards the wall. Denham right on the back bumper. And
yeah, I think what Denham does is a very good job of mirroring the lead line.
Yeah, and then we swap them around. Denham a nicer lead at this point. And Smokey with the same amount of proximity doesn't make the dive there. Denham on a better line towards outer zone 3.
Denham dropping a wheel though as he comes past 5.
And then Smokey, look, good proximity, nice transition back. Smokey completely abandons out of zone 7 though, but Denham avoids
the final clip. Yeah, I mean,
not an easy one to split there. I reckon this could go one more time. Who wants to see him go one more time, ladies and gentlemen?
I mean, if we keep sending them one more time, I'm going to miss my flight later on this evening.
That's fine. You can stay in the UK. It's fine. Well, decision is in. Who's going to take it through to the top 16? Matt Denham or Paul Smokey Smith? A left for Denham, a right for Smith. Kieran says Denham. David says Denham. Ryan makes it unanimous. Matt Denham gets the win, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Smokey Smith bows out of competition. We throw it quickly back to the judges.
Yeah, I mean, it was really close, to be fair. Both lead runs were pretty good. It was minor mistakes from Denham in his lead run. Fair few from Paul in his one, though. But with the chases, Denham dealt with Paul's lead run better. And he actually maintained decent proximity. Paul had a fairly clean chase, but it was about a car width, maybe just a bit more behind, and it just wasn't as impressive. So he had a slight advantage to Matt Denham for that and taking the win.
There we go.
So 2 spots remain in the top 32, and before we go to that battle, no. Oh. Yeah, sorry.
He's not ready yet. He's doing his hair, apparently.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So we don't have Nathan, but we do have Vasquez versus Clark. 2 spots remain in the top 16. One of these guys is going to grab one of them. Who's it going to be? Clark up against it here. He hasn't performed as well as we've seen him throughout the season yet this weekend. And I emphasize the word yet because he's coming up against Vasquez. Can he pull it out of the bag here as Vasquez throws caution to the wind into that first corner? Clark on a nice wide line but loses some ground. He needs to pull himself back into this one or he's going to get caught in that smoke behind Vasquez. Vasquez neglecting to get to that clipping zone at outer zone 4. Clark now looks to find some pace, tries to pull himself back into this one, but he just can't get that proximity. But Vasquez not getting into all those clipping zones as the judges would want him to see, so certainly not the perfect lead line.
No, you're right there, Eddie. Not the perfect lead line for Vasquez. He completely drops out of zone 6 on the wall there. And apart from that, it's a very good run, but not the best we've seen. So we get those guys back to the line and swapped back around. It will be now Jason Clark to lead out Aramis Vasquez. Vasquez dangerous in that chase position. We've seen him making some huge mistakes before, but can he pull it out of the bag when it counts now? They're off the line. It will be Clark to lead out Vasquez. Vasquez fires it in. Clark shallow on outer zone 2. Vasquez is right with him as they go to the wall. Look at Vasquez as he transitions in the middle of the circuit now, finds the door on the slide. Motorsport RX-7. Vasquez super aggressive because he is absolutely wheel on wheel. They come in to outer zone 6, Clark on a good line, but Vasquez is still with him now, gives him a little bit of room to transition, and back into it goes Vasquez. They go to the wall and across the line. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause.
Aramis Vasquez literally has one mode. That is it. It's a switch, and it's just all-out war, all-out crazy. There's no timid, there's no hanging back.
He is the Lithuanian lunatic.
Yes.
That's his new name. Those guys sit waiting for the decision. And Aramis Vasquez gets out of his car. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Clark, Aramis Vasquez. Judges just deliberating the decision of this one. Jason Clark can't watch, he covers his eyes. As we await the decision from our judges.
Before the top 32, Ian, it's worth saying that I overheard Dave Egan say to the other judges, we're going to have a tough job here because everybody is pushing so hard and it's such a long track as well that, you know, there's a lot of opportunities for these guys to be really good and a lot of opportunities for them to make mistakes. As we go to the Samco Sport replay, just to have a quick look at this one more time.
And not sure what the judges are looking for here. Of Vasquez just shallow on outer zone 4 there.
Yeah, I mean, look, Vasquez is doing a really good job, but he sacrifices a lot of clips. At least 3 clips missed. As you see here, just about putting the rear wheels in that one, just about maybe making the last clip as well. So his line wasn't perfect, which would be very difficult for Jason Clark to try and chase that line. Add in the plumes of smoke that's created by Vasquez, and you know, you got to give a little bit of leeway there to Jason Clark from where I'm standing.
And judges still deliberating this one. not come to a decision just yet. These guys got a task on their hands, and this is just the top 32. What's it going to be like in the final, Eddie?
Yeah, look.
We could be here tomorrow. We could still be here tomorrow.
Yeah. Can I stay in your house tonight, please?
It's a long way away.
It's closer to my house.
So while we wait for the decision from our judges, to take a quick time to shout out to our sponsors. Without those guys, none of this would be possible. I want to shout out all the guys that supported the championship this season. AMD Details. AMD Details provide detailing products, chemicals, accessories to make sure your car shines above the rest. I could vouch for that. They sent me down a huge selection of stuff. Unbelievable quality products there. Oh, it looks like the decision is in there, so we're going to have to cut that short. Who's going to take it through to the top 16? Jason Clark Aramis for Callous. Kieran says one more time. David Egan. Ryan, make it unanimous. It's a one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Judges, we go back to you. Eddie said he's going to miss his flight at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, after the discussions we just had, we kind of came to the decision that both drivers were basically equally as bad in the first run. Aramis set a poor lead line. Jason maybe wasn't given the opportunity to do a good chase, but again, wasn't really doing anything great to show us that he should take a win. When they swap around, Jason does a very good lead, but Aramis chases very well as well. The only fair thing we can do is run them again. Hopefully the first run will be better, and we should have a clear winner.
So we are going to hand over to our good friend Nathan. Nathan Black, you are down in the pits getting some more hot gossip. What you got?
Hi guys, so as the top 32 battles are nearing the end, we approach the top 16. And our first battle is going to be with Mr. Wanacott here. Now, I don't think we've formally met with your fiery vehicle. You're going up against the man that seems to be putting fear into most drivers around here. Do you feel this fear?
No, I don't think I do. I don't think I do, because he's been doing so much. Yep. He's such a good driver, we all know that I can just throw it at his door and see what happens.
So we're going to go down. I of course, I'm talking about the mighty Dwayne McKeever. You say there's no pressure. This man says he doesn't feel pressure. So we've got two pressureless men going up to do battle. Mr. Wanacott, I wish you the best of luck, but you are going up against Dwayne McKeever. But hey, anything can happen in this crazy world of drifting. We'll be back with you. Let's go and see Mr. Northern Smoke Machine. How are you, handsome? You're here. You're going up against Mr. Wanacott. He's giving you a bit of credit. He says Dwayne's a good driver. He didn't have any eyebrows. That was taking my distraction off for a while. I don't know why. But on another story, he says he might have the opportunity to take you down. What do you have in reply? No. We're not doing the pedant stuff again. It's enough of that. Yeah, it's his influence over there. Pedant, the weirdo, Nielsen, come away from him. Talk to us. What's happening? There's a bit. I'm going to have to bring up a little bit of controversy. There was a little bit of talk that maybe a wheel had kind of gone awry earlier. You're not paying people off here to get into these top spots, are you? That might be what some of the other drivers are saying. I've obviously got your back.
Look, if they want to make excuses, they can.
Just talk. Go on.
I can't.
What are you doing? This is the first time I've seen you nervous. This is what happens. Just do the normal. Ain't nobody got nothing on me. Kevin Quinn's weird, and then we'll just go elsewhere.
Right, well, just want to put the fact out there that I'm only paying some people, not everybody.
Yeah, not everyone.
Yeah, not everyone. I want to hold the mic.
Listen, back to you guys. I've had enough of this.
Nathan's getting bullied at last round, and the drivers have finally got a bit of redemption.
About time, if you ask
got
me.
some redemption. We move it along to the next battle of the day. It will be a Matt Carter to take on Mike Walton. Mike Walton learned every trick he knows from this man.
Master versus apprentice, Ian, and you know what? He's no longer the reigning champion, but Matt Carter has a chance to get himself on another podium. But Mike Walton is going to try and take his opportunity to take down the guy who taught him everything he knows. Can he do it here against one of the best to ever put wheels on the track in England? Here we go. Carter leads them in, just about manages to keep this car on circuit.
Matt Carter absolutely flying. Mike Walton with a scrappy chase on, trying to keep proximity with Matt Carter. You can see massive losses of angle, straightens everywhere for Mike Walton. Mike Walton just not got what it takes to hang with the greatest from the UK as he brings it across the line. So judges are going to want to see a replay of this. Look, straight from the get-go, Mike Walton making a whole host of errors. Looked aggressive from initiation. Carter gets into it nice and early. Walton throws it down. Carter gets into it. Look at this. Walton, though, starts to make a dive, starts to bring the fight, but then, look, big error here. Has to get out of it ever so slightly. Throws on too much angle, straightens in front of the judging tower, then gets back into it again. Makes a dive, straightens again, reinitiates. Carter stands on the accelerator and pulls away, and Mike Walton then finishes off the run knowing that, you know what, I've made a hash of this chase run.
But you see, I mean, looking on, you could say, oh, Mike Walton's done a terrible job there. This is the difference in level that we talk about. Mike Walton has been around this track so many times and done such a really strong job, but you go up against one of the best in the business, and the pressure that these guys are under causes other great drivers to make mistakes. Look at this from Walton, nailing the qualifying line right out to the wall. This is perfect, but in that new position couldn't find what Matt Carter is now doing to Mike Walton, which is that pace, just that composure to just chew him down. Oh, contact off the wall! Boot door to boot door. Insane stuff from these two guys, and both drivers pushing really hard. But what about that for a lead run from Walton? Really produced it in the second half of this one.
He certainly did, and you know, just when we counted him out of the fight, he came back swinging and really laid it all out there. Give the wall a very hard hit and removed everything for the back end. Decisions in, easy one for our judges. Who's going to take it through? Mike Walton, Matt Carter, slide him left for Walton, right for Carter. Kieran, David and Ryan make it unanimous. Matt Carter gets the win. We're not going to send it back to the judges. Pretty simple way to break that one down, Eddie. The chase from Walton, just too much in it. And now we need to take a little bit of time to fix the wall. Mike Walton rearranging it with the back end of that Walton Motorsport S13. And we are going to jump back into what I was getting into earlier about our sponsors. We want to say a huge thank you to those guys for jumping on board, supporting the series and making it what it is. AMD Details, I said earlier, they sent me down a huge package of stuff. Phenomenal cleaning products. Can't thank Alan and the team there at AM Details for hooking us up. Brian James Trailers. Brian James are the industry leading in car transport trailers. They offer quality customizable trailers to suit your needs. We've seen many guys in the paddock using their trailers. Phenomenal pieces of equipment. Cosmos Racing wheels offer exceptional strength, quality and style that makes them #1 in the choice of street, drift or track. You can see those wheels out in the paddock there. Mike Walton and the crew got some for sale. Grab yourself some wheels. Funk Motorsport, the UK's home of tuning heat management products, including their famous turbo blanket. They are also Europe's main supplier of Laminex headlight protection film, hooking up the best in the business. Ollie Bolton being their #1 driver. Jap Speed is providers of high quality aftermarket parts from exhaust systems, intercoolers, suspension arms and much more, all for Japanese performance cars. JDM Distro, dangerous website. Go on there if you've got a credit card, because you will max it out. And the #1 supplier of new and used JDM performance rims and parts. Have a drift, drag, a grip machine. They have everything you need. We're going to go back to the line though for the next battle, and that will be revisiting the one more time of Aramis Vascalis and Jason Clark. So those guys sit on the line patiently waiting to go. It will be Vascalis to lead out Clark. As Vascalis fires it in a big angle, can he hold on to it? He certainly can.
Every last degree of luck needed there, Ian, to keep that car from over-rotating, but he makes it work. As the Lithuanian lunatic puts foot to floor and clouds out the arena here. Jason Clark now needs to try and find some pace in that RX-7. Oh, wheels dropped from Vascalis.
Yeah, wheels dropped there from Vascalis. Jason Clark gets himself back into the fight as Vascalis puts down a pretty quality lead run. Incredible stuff there from Vascalis and Clark. Vascalis leaving nothing out there, absolutely threw it down. And
yeah, I mean, that was incredible angle through the first section there, and using every last degree of luck that he had. And I think without it, he would have been in big trouble, because he really pushed it to the limit. Jason Clark now settles himself and prepares him to go to war with this crazy Lithuanian one more time. Here we go. Clark, Vascalis. Clark to lead them in. Very late initiation from Jason Clark.
Wow, Vascalis fires it in, catches a little bit of understeer, gets back into it now, makes the dive on the door of the Slide Motorsport RX-7. Look at this, side by side as Vascalis pushes Jason Clark around this Rockingham Motor Speedway circuit. Jason Clark absolutely nailing the lead line though, as Vascalis makes an early transition to get back on the door. Almost over-rotates as Vascalis. Unbelievable stuff. Rockingham, give him a round of applause. The Lithuanian lunatic. That's a well-earned name.
Yeah.
That's a well-earned name in my
is.
books.
As the new owner looks as though they're leaving the arena.
They're off early.
Yep.
Decisions in though. Who's going to take it through to the top 16? And look at this. Kieran says Vascalis. It's unanimous. Aramis Vascalis gets the win, taking Jason Clark out of competition. Quick word of our judges. That man is insane.
Yeah, for Vascalis, I don't know if it's a technical term, but lead run, gangster, chase run, gangster. Clark wasn't bad, but just couldn't compete with that. Incredible stuff. He makes a little error towards the end, Vascalis, but it's not enough to overturn the massive advantage he had at that point. Solid win for him. Good effort from Clark, but not enough.
There we go. Jason Clark not just not bringing enough to the table, and Aramis Vascalis walking into the top 16. That means we're going to crack on with our top 16. We are ready to get things underway. The first battle in order will be Dwayne McKeever to take on Martin Wonnacott. The man from Devon has a task and a half on his hands to take on the newly crowned Pro Champion, 2018 Pro Champion, Dwayne McKeever. He has nothing to lose anymore. He just wants to make this 5 for 5. Can he do it? Who knows? Martin Wonnacott stands in his way at the moment.
Yeah, I would think Dwayne McKeever feels as though he has everything to lose because he does not like being on any other step than the top step of the podium. And right now, Martin Wonnacott is learning all about Dwayne McKeever and just how hard he is to keep pace with McKeever. Just doesn't rest one moment. He is relentless, and look at the gap that he has opened up against Martin Wonnacott. Martin Wonnacott not doing a whole lot wrong here, keeping on that wide line, nailing those clips, but just doesn't have the pace of McKeever.
Unbelievable. How fast is Dwayne McKeever's car? He must have pulled nearly 10 car lengths after the initiation. That was insane. And Martin Wonnacott very much getting caught up there. And he will have sat back in that car and said he's very quick. So those guys pull back to the line. Dwayne McKeever now to chase down Martin Wonnacott. Wonnacott in the lead position. As they come off the line, Wonnacott flick initiation. Dwayne McKeever though this time right on the back bumper, no separation. McKeever got all the proximity in the world as he now transitions, hunting down the side of Wonnacott's third chaser. Look at this, all over the four doors.
Yeah, the master at work here. Oh, but McKeever looked as though he was almost about to spin. Was there contact as they came through that section? He is glued to Wonnacott, and in for a moment I almost had a heart attack, but McKeever stays in it. I'm not even sure if my eyes were fooling me there. Did it look like there was contact? Did it look like as they simultaneously opened their doors? And McKeever steps out to go over and have a little word with Martin Wonnacott. Judge's decision is in. Will it be Wonnacott? Will it be McKeever? Kieran Hinds says Dwayne McKeever. Dave Egan follows suit. Ryan makes it unanimous. Guys, pretty easy decision over the course of 2 runs.
Yeah, okay, just to explain something. In the briefing this morning, when we were doing the briefing, we explained there's an inactive chasing, and this is where the chase driver, there's a separation, and when separation gets to a certain size, it's a 10-0. In the first run, Dwayne actually had passed through clip 8, which is the very final clip, and Martin was only just entering clip 7, so he hadn't actually gone into clip 7. So that was a 10-0 after the first run. In the second run, I think you saw Dwayne was stuck in all the way through. So
there we go, Dwayne McKeever taking the win and moving through to the Grade 8. We move it along, Connor Shanahan to take on Martin Richards. This one very much Martin Richards, you know, he's going to want this because then he will face off with Dwayne McKeever in the Grade 8.
Yeah, but you know what's more important as well is we have 6 Irish drivers in the top 16, and if Martin Richards doesn't win this one, that'll be 2 Irish drivers straight into the Grade 8. So all important for the Irish-British rivalry. Who's going to go through? Shanahan to lead them in as the higher qualifier. Richards right there with him as they throw it into that first corner. Shanahan going through the first 2 sections, but Richards all over the side of the Link engine management. Shanahan car sales 180SX. Richards tucks back in beside him once again, not letting Shanahan get away from him. Shanahan right out to the edge of the circuit, nailing that outer line. takes it to the wall, but the one thing he can't do is shake Martin Richards. They transition side by side, and Richards jumps right back down the inside of Shanahan once again. Rockingham makes some noise for Shanahan and Richards. Wow.
Speechless, Eddie. Absolutely speechless. The chase from Martin Richards was just phenomenal. But, you know, that wouldn't have been achievable if Conor Shanahan's lead wouldn't have been that good.
You know what, Ian? We have been spoiled this year. We have seen some insane battles. And when you see a battle like that, last year, the year before, 5 years ago, could you imagine seeing a final that good? Now we're seeing it in top 16 and people are like, meh. Here we go, second half of this one. What can Shanahan do?
Oh, Shanahan on the back bumper as Martin Richards initiates. Now look at Shanahan on the wheel of Martin Richards. Oh, backs out of it ever so slightly.
Yeah, Richards missing clip 3 as Shanahan stays glued to him. Door to door, wheel to wheel. Foot to the floor as they come down the hill towards the teardrop. They slow it up. They get ready to bring it out to the wall and back up the hill. Richards not as deep into those outer zones as Shanahan was, but Shanahan is right there with him, bringing the proximity. Shanahan brings the dive and they cross the line.
Unbelievable stuff there. Martin Richards dropping a couple of clipping points at the end of that run. We've seen Conor Shanahan take down James Dean and Dwayne McKeever this year. Can he take down Martin Richards? Give him a round of applause as they get out of the vehicles. Martin Richards, Conor Shanahan, those guys going head to head. Unbelievable stuff. So as we see a replay of this, Shanahan initiating and Richards in that chase position. You can see Richards all over the side of Conor Shanahan. Judges are not splitting these two, so I want to take a look back at the runs from both these guys. Shanahan on a very nice lead line, nice and deep into out zone 4 there as they make their way up the hill through 5. You can see Richards there taking a dive across the track. Shanahan nice and deep into out zone 6. Clever transition from Martin Richards. So, looks like the decision is in from our judges. Who's going to take it through to the tops, to the Great 8? Sorry, Martin Richards or Conor Shanahan? Ryan says Shanahan. David says Shanahan. It's unanimous. Conor Shanahan gets the win and advances through. We quickly send it back to our judges. This young man absolutely ruining everyone's year.
Yeah. I mean, basically it all comes down to realistically the lead runs. Connor's lead was good. Martin seemed to have a bit of a wobble at initiation. He kind of put himself in the wrong place there, but with the lead run from Connor that was pretty much perfect all the way through, giving Martin the chance to chase. Martin then putting in a decent lead run, missing clips 7 and 8 though, and Connor putting in an excellent chase as well. So that giving Connor the advantage over both runs.
So there we go, Conor Shanahan getting the win, advancing through to the Great 8. Next battle up, Darren McNamara to take on Oliver Evans, and this is going to be a story. These two guys are going to go hard. I can see it going wheel to wheel, collisions, fireworks, flames, you name it, it's going to happen right now.
Yeah, this is going to be an electric one. The Irish 2 for 2 into the Great 8. Could we see Darren McNamara follow suit? Oliver Evans needs to do something here to restore British pride. What can he do against the boss at Group D? Back in court, McNamara dropping 2 wheels off circuit, Ian.
Yeah, McNamara goes wide, puts the car to the wall, salvages the run. Ollie Evans stays in it, starts to find the door of the Group D PS13. As McNamara squeezes the throttle and starts to drive away, can he escape the grip of the VP Racing Fuels driver as Evans now finds the side of that car one more time, one more dive left for Evans as he pushes Darren McNamara across the finish line and gets lost in the smoke. Couldn't even see him. Couldn't even see Oliver Evans.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's hotting up. This is a very difficult circuit to try and chase somebody really close, because when you have smoke machines like some of these cars, they're like crazy horsepowers and they just produce masses of smoke, which make it so difficult for the chase driver. And sun going down here also potentially causing problems for these guys. Thumbs up from Darren D. McNamara. He'll know he's in good stead after that one. Now it's up to Oliver Evans to try and replicate the lead line and try and cause some problems with some smoke of his own for Darren McNamara. Malks gives the orders that they are go.
They are go indeed. And look at this, Darren McNamara not letting Oliver Evans get away as they initiate into that first turn. McNamara straight onto the back bumper of that VP Racing Fuels S14. They transition back into the centre of the circuit. A little bit of separation emerges as Oliver Evans squeezes the accelerator and tries to drive away, but McNamara keeps the distance and now makes another dive as Evans almost goes off track there, very wide from Oliver Evans. McNamara squeezes one more time, gets onto the back bumper, almost contact as he pushes Oliver Evans across the finishing line. Oliver Evans and Darren McNamara putting on a show. Looks like judges know exactly what way this is going to swing, putting the score into the system already. Who's it going to be, Oliver Evans or Darren McNamara? The pride of England hangs in the hands of a Welshman at the moment. Kieran Hinds says Oliver Evans. David Egan says Oliver Evans. Ryan makes it unanimous. Oliver Evans gets the win and advances through, knocking out the ex-Formula D driver. Quickly back to our judges on that one.
Yeah, so Darren's fast in that lead position, but he comes in a little too fast. He drops one, maybe two wheels off the track on the first corner. Evans doesn't really take advantage of it or get messed up by it, and he's not super aggressive, but he's tidy throughout the rest of the run. Evans takes a small advantage from me on the first run. Second run, Evans got a good lead, doesn't drop any wheels, pretty tasty throughout. But Darren is sort of cutting the track to try and stay back in the fight, and even when he cuts it a little bit, he doesn't actually make up any proximity. So it's kind of a 5-5 on the second with a slight advantage from the first to Evans getting the win.
There we go, Oliver Evans getting the win and advancing through to the grey 8, and we keep it going. It will be Peden Nielsen now to take on Anton Omar, the Frenchman to take on the Danishman.
Yeah, and you know what, two very evenly matched 180, a 249 SX versus the 180 SX, 400 brake horsepower underneath the bonnet of both these vehicles. So, you know, a very evenly matched fight. Can the Frenchman take down the Danish/Irish mix of Peden Nielsen? We are about to find out. Peden Nielsen, the higher qualifier in that Drift Games Moose Design Mobile 1 Jap Speed Stone Motorsport 180 SX. But look at this, Antoine Omar right there with Peden Nielsen hunting down.
Oh, he messes up the transition. But Peden Nielsen
drops a wheel on the inside here.
Yeah, Peden Nielsen way offline there on the middle of the circuit. Anton Omar composes himself, gets back into the fight as Nielsen finds himself back on the right line now. Anton Omar hunts down the side of that 249 and gets back on the door and side by side across the finishing line.
Yeah, Anton Omar showing it, you know, very much an aggressive nature. It's very great to see the visiting driver here this weekend. Well, two visiting drivers, and Peden Nielsen doing a good job out front. Antoine Omar just keeping that proximity threat. Did have to sacrifice a lot of course just to get it towards the end as well, though.
He certainly did. As Peden Nielsen now pulls back up to the line, Anton Omar will be in the lead position. Nielsen in the chase position. Those guys get the thumbs up from our start line at Marshall Melks, and they are ready to rock and roll. And here we go for the second half of the battle. A place in the Grade 8 awaits. Who is going to take it through? And look at this from Nielsen, starts to make the dive already after the initiation. Anton Omar, though, on that absolutely perfect lead line already, jumped straight into it. No messing around. What has Peden Nielsen got? Kenny hunting down, it squeezes. Oh, and look at this from Nielsen, makes a dive onto the door, but catches an understeer. Catches some understeer, almost puts himself off circuit, gets back into it as Anton Omar back on that perfect lead line, clips the wall, and finishes off the run side by side with Peden Nielsen. Anton Omar in that lead position is just...
Yeah, he's got it. He's Scalextrics, and Peden Nielsen, how he managed to keep in that one is phenomenal, because it looked for all that he was gone. But just watch the lead line here from Antoine Omar. Pinpoint accuracy. Peden Nielsen does a really good job of keeping that proximity, staying nice and close, dials on a good bit of angle there just to allow Antoine to transition. They take it up to the wall, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Peden has to dial on big angle, then almost loses it, but keeps that power on and gets back into it, finds some proximity again through the latter stages, with pinpoint accuracy all the way out to the wall from Antoine Omar. This is a really good battle from these two.
So will it be the Irishman slash a Danishman taking it through to the Grade 8, or will it be the Frenchman? These two visiting drivers both desperately looking for a place in the Grade 8. Decision drops in. Side him left for Anton Omar, right for Peter Nilsson. Kieran says Anton Omar. David says Anton Omar. He's unanimous. Anton Omar gets the win. Peter Nilsson out of competition. Quickly back to the judges on that one.
Yeah, looking at both runs, Pete in the lead position. Yeah, he has a good lead line for most of it, except coming out to the second wall there at clip 4. He cuts to the inside of the track, and Omar in the chase position is kind of forced to the inside a little bit. I think it messes up his runs and the rest of it from there on. It didn't help the situation anyway. When you swap it around, Omar has a really good lead line. Again at 4, he goes out to the wall, gives Pete a perfect lead line to chase. Pete does a good job, gets caught a little bit going down into the decel zone there a little bit, but I think over both runs, Omar done enough to take them.
So there we go, Anton Omar taking the winner, moving through to the Grade 8, and we keep it going. Andrew Earl now to take on Scott Cartilage, the Pro-Am driver, to take on the 2017 Pro-Am champion. And Andrew Earl having a weekend that he couldn't even have dreamt of, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we didn't think he was going through to the top 16, but the judges saw it differently. Now he has an opportunity to take down Scott Cartilage for a spot in the Grade 8. I bet if you told him this on Friday, he would never believe it. If you told him this at the start of the season, he'd never believe it. But right now, he needs to pull himself together because his line is not perfect in the lead position. He is the higher qualifier here, but Scott Cartilage is hunting him down here as he settles himself now. Andy Earl is a much stronger second half to this one as Cartilage finds some proximity. As Earl takes it out to the wall. And a nice end to that one from Andy Earl, but could he rue that poor line through the first few sections? Only time will tell you.
Only time will tell, Eddie, and for me, Andrew Earl's initiation was very late. You could see on the replay here, I know judges are going to want to see the initiation again. That's where a big error happened. Watch this, Andrew Earl is leading out Scott Cartilage. Scott Cartilage initiates. Andrew Earl very late, very, very late indeed, and fails to get out to the outside zone 2. Cartilage has to make a correction, then finds his form, gets back into it, finds the door, and starts to make the hunt on Andrew Earl. That's not going to go in Andrew Earl's favour, that mess up on initiation.
No, certainly not. So if Scott Cartilage could lay down the perfect lead run here, it could be curtains for Andrew Earl. But easier said than done as they leave the line and get ready for the second half of this one. Cartilage leads them in. Nice through that first few sections from him. Oh, Earl just washing as he comes offline trying to find that proximity. Now Earl, big straighten as he comes through 3 and 4. Gets caught up and loses it at the wall.
Yeah, Andrew Earl getting mixed up with the wall. Finds himself in a place where he can't get out of it. Scott Cartilage finishes up a very nice lead run there. And judges are wanting to see a replay. Oh no, judges straight in with a decision. Cartilage or Earl, who's going to take it through to the Grade 8? And there we go, Scott Cartilage taking the win and advances through. No reason to talk to the judges. Andrew Earl into the wall. That is not drifting, that's not what we want to see. So our 2017 Pro-Am champion advances through. So as a decision is handed out, we look at the start line and I can see an interesting battle on the start line, Eddie.
Yes, very interesting one. Ryan Caldwell to take on Simon Perry. Two completely different characters in the sport. Two very similar horsepower cars and one young gun, one veteran. This one could go either way. Already we have 2 Irishmen, 2 Englishmen, and a Frenchman in the top 16. Is it going to be an Irishman or is it going to be an Englishman to add to that collection? Caldwell, the higher qualifier, leads in Perry. Nice from Caldwell early on. Perry losing some ground now, looks to make it back on the transition. Dials off a little bit of an angle, takes it out to the wall, but he's losing more and more ground as Caldwell puts foot to the floor. Caldwell barely lifts off the accelerators. You see a constant flow of tyre smoke. Perry now just no answer for the pace of Caldwell as the 16-year-old takes it to the wall, Ian.
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Simon Perry just did not have the pace and just I would say out-card, but Simon Perry's definitely got the tool for the job. I'm just going to say that Ryan Caldwell is fearless. That lead position, that lead run that he puts down is unbelievable.
Yes, certainly I would not be able to confidently say that anybody in this battle could be outcarried by the other. However, Simon Perry right now needs to prove why he is one of the biggest names in UK drifting, because he has been schooled by the school kid. Second half of this one is a go. Perry off the line. Caldwell. Can he go door to door? Can he maintain that proximity? He certainly can, Ian, as you say. Perry doing a good job keeping it nice and wide. Can he shake the youngster? Perry takes it to the wall, but Caldwell staying with him in this one, keeping that proximity nice and tight. Perry out to the wall. Caldwell door to door, makes the dive on transition. Will we see a last-ditch attempt to tag the wall or the door of Perry? I think a very, very collected approach to that attack by Ryan Caldwell.
Very, very calculated. He knew exactly what he was doing, didn't make any silly mistakes, made a dive when it needed to, and got on the door exactly where he had to. Decisions in straight away. Simon Perry, Ryan Caldwell, who's going to go through to the Great 8? Ryan says Caldwell, so does David, so does Ryan. Ryan Caldwell, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win and advances through. Simon Perry knocked out of competition by the young gun from Northern Ireland. We quickly send it back to our judges.
Yeah, great runs there from both guys and some great lead runs. However, Caldwell just has that more aggression in the chase. A little bit of contact on the first corner, but I think that might have been due to Simon just not coming on the throttle as early as we would expect him to. Caldwell stays in it, Perry stays in it, great run, but Caldwell just, you can see it there, glued to Perry, and on the other way around, Perry just couldn't catch Caldwell at all. So an easy one for us finally today.
An easy one, finally, a quick one. We move it along to the next battle of the day. This one, Driftworks versus Jab Speed. Pound for pound, these two guys are very, very talented drivers. Phil Morrison, been in the game a long time. Matt Denham, a young blood. But Matt Denham, he's got a point to prove to Phil Morrison right now. He's going to stick it to the door. He leads out. Phil Morrison for the first half of the battle was Morrison hunts down the side of that Jab Speed RX-8. What has the Driftworks driver got? As he starts to stick it on the door, but a little bit of gap opens up as Denham squeezes a throw.
Yeah, but that gap instantly closed by Morrison, who puts foot to floor and finds the grip that he needs in this little monstrous Corolla. This a real war from these two. Little dab of the brakes there from Matt Denham as he comes up towards the grandstand, and they cross the line, and Phil Morrison growing into this one with every pass of the circuit.
Exactly that, Eddie, growing into this one, like you say, and really putting on a show there in that chase position. Now, we know Matt Denham is absolutely deadly in the chase position. What has he got? Can he keep up with the pace of that crazy little Corolla?
Yeah, as they make it back to the line. Thumbs up from Denham. Thumbs up from Morrison. Thumbs up from Malks. We are go. The second half of this one. 2 spots remain in the top 8. Who's going to take this one? Morrison fires it in nice and fast through the first corner, but way offline.
It's way offline. Morrison way offline. Denham almost has to take a step back then to think about what is going on. He gets himself corrected and starts to find the side of that Driftworks 886 and wheels off again for Morrison. Morrison's going to over-rotate, but he stays in it. How did Phil Morrison save that? Matt Denham sees the open door, takes the opportunity to make the dive. They go to the wall. Rockingham raise the roof for Phil Morrison and Matt Denham. Unbelievable stuff. And as they get out of the car, ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause, Phil Morrison and Matt Denham. Matt Denham probably apologising to Phil Morrison there.
I am, I didn't scare you, mate.
Sorry about that. He's so sorry.
Yeah, you can see
so Phil Morrison thinking that was a workout.
I'm too old for this.
Workout. Look at this for Morrison, fires the car in, incredible. But look at that, completely sacrificed out of zone 2. Finds form and just about catches 3, gets back online. Denham almost takes a step back and says, did I just see Phil Morrison fall offline? Jumps into it then starts to find the side of that Corolla. Look at this big angle from Morrison, almost over-rotates, stays in it, gets online, but by that point, Matt Denham all over the side of the Driftworks Toyota Corolla E86. So Matt Denham and Phil Morrison just reliving their run in their own ways. Decisions in, who's going to take it through? Phil Morrison on the left, Denham on the right. Kieran says Denham. David says Denham. Ryan says Denham. It's unanimous. Matt Denham gets the win and advances through. We quickly have a word with our judges on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the lead lines there. Phil, I mean, although it's really entertaining from Phil, just too many mistakes that we can't ignore. He doesn't actually get out to clip 2, fully cuts halfway through the track, which doesn't give Denham the opportunity to get on the door. When he does get on the door, Phil then puts 2 wheels off at clip 5. He's washing, really far down, and Denham's struggling to really stay there. But he deals with it enough. Phil's chase was actually very good, but all because of Denham's lead run being very good as well. So overall, Denham takes that win.
So there we go, Matt Denham taking the win and advancing through to the Grade 8. One more battle to go. Who is going to take the final spot in Grade 8? Will it be Aramis Vascalis or will it be the door hunter, Matt Carter?
Yeah, difficult one to call. Vascalis has looked very, very strong so far, but Matt Carter, one of the coolest customers on the grid, and he won't feel one bit phased here as he gets set to leave the line. Vascalis, the higher qualifier. Can he take down the 2017 champ? He's going to try everything he can to do so, nailing that outer line so far. And Matt Carter getting a little bit caught now, needs to pull back some ground here as Vascalis fires that he turning towards the wall. Oh! But a big problem here for Matt Carter as he loses ground, makes a big error as he comes towards the grandstand. Can he make his way back into this with Vascalis? A little bit shallow on some of the clips, but he clouds out this Rockingham arena. Rockingham makes some noise for Aramis Vascalis and Matt Carter.
You know what absolutely outstanding me, Eddie, was the pace of Aramis Vascalis' car. It was phenomenal. The amount of ground that he picked up between him and Matt Carter was crazy. And Matt Carter's car is not slow by any means. So Aramis Vascalis looks like he has an advantage in the bag for the first half of the battle. Now, we've seen him make crazy mistakes, though, in that chase position. Can he keep a cool head? Can he stick it to the door of the door hunter himself?
Yes, will the hunter become the hunted in the second half of this one? As we mentioned, one more spot up for grabs in the Grade 8. Will it be Vascalis? It looks as though he has the advantage. Will Carter find some magic from somewhere? Here we go. Malks releases the cars. They fire through the gears. Big entry from Matt Carter as he throws it through that first section. Vascalis offline, hunting down the door. Can he find that proximity? Shoots forward onto the door and now looks to make his attack on Carter, who drops wheels as he comes by clip 5. Carter offline. Vascalis clawing in every inch that he can. Big dive down the inside with Vascalis. Pours on too much angle and a big error from Vascalis. And was that a straighten over the line here?
I'm not sure, Eddie. That was just a crazy chase there from Aramis Vascalis. Matt Carter doing everything he could to try and escape the Lithuanian's grip, but judges look like they're pretty dead certain on this one as the scores get inputted into the system. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Pride of Lithuania and the UK stand right in front of you right now. Who's going to take it through, though, to the final spot in the Grade 8? Slide them left for Carter, right for Vascalis. One vote for Vascalis. 2 votes for Vascalis. It's unanimous. Aramis Vascalis gets the win and advances through. He takes down the door hunter. Judges, we go to you. Insane stuff from Aramis Vascalis.
Yeah, he's insane, and sometimes that doesn't work in his favour. In that battle it did. Incredible lead run, and Carter tried to chase him to the wall. Carter had to back off, very close to a 10-0 straightening up, and then on the other switch round, Carter's put wheels off. Slows up at the finish as well. Vascalis right there with him throughout the whole track. Lots of proximity. Great win for Aramis Vascalis there against last year's champ.
Yeah, and crucially, guys, as well, Vascalis now taking down Carter. Vascalis 4th in the championship, Carter in 3rd position. Could we see Vascalis take 3rd spot?
Martin Richards out
as well. Could we see Vascalis finish 2nd in the championship?
and get a Formula Drift licence? Well, who knows? We're about to find out. We're going to keep moving on. Dwayne McKeever now to take on Connor Shanahan. This could be redemption for the Northern Smoke Machine. Shanahan taking down McKeever in Ireland in IDC just a couple of weeks ago. These guys sit staring intently at each other across the grid. And they are off the line. McKeever to lead out Shanahan for a spot in the final four. And look at McKeever right on the back bumper. Shanahan right on the back bumper of McKeever. As McKeever puts foot to floor, trying to pull away from the 16-year-old legend that is Connor Shanahan. Shanahan starts to get lost though now, as McKeever puts a foot down.
Yeah, McKeever with the foot down and really starts to pull that gap, but he hasn't been as deep into some of these clipping zones as we'd like to see him. Shanahan looks as though he might have problems because he just doesn't seem to have an answer for the pace of McKeever. So the first half of that one in the books, we switch it around. McKeever will become the chase driver. Shanahan with an opportunity to lead them in. Shanahan just did not appear to have that pace that McKeever had, but we've seen that so many times in the past.
So yeah, McKeever now in that chase position. We know he's deadly, but can Shanahan drive away from Dwayne McKeever? They come off the line. McKeever all over the side of that Westlake tyre, has Link ECU S13. A little bit of room is given to Shanahan to initiate, and now McKeever starts to make the kill as they transition back in the centre of the circuit. McKeever looks for the door because he makes a huge dive onto the door. Look at this.
By the grandstand, insane stuff from McKeever. But Shanahan keeping in the fight here. Can he pull something out of the bag? Can he find it?
Oh, wow!
Shanahan crumbles under the pressure of McKeever. McKeever sails into the sunset, rocking him.
Wow, Eddie, you don't often see that, and we are trying to find out word with Connor Shanahan what has happened to that car, because it is dead in the middle of the circuit.
Is it a gearing problem?
So not sure at the moment, trying to get word from Connor Shanahan inside the car of what's gone on. Ah, and the car looks like it cut out, Eddie. So it cut out and looks like it's just struggling to get that car restarted again. And yeah, look, more problems for Connor Shanahan. That car not playing balls, had a very hard season travelling all around Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, as he pulls up to Dwayne McKeever, give Connor Shanahan a huge round of applause. Absolutely valiant effort from this young man representing Ireland all over Europe. Phenomenal stuff. Just 15 years old, Eddie. That guy is a future star of Irish drifting. We need to make it official, though, as he pulls up to Dwayne McKeever. Getting the win, going through to the final four. Slide him left for McKeever, right for Shanahan, sorry, the other way around. McKeever gets the win, ladies and gentlemen, and advances through to the final four.
And we go straight down to Nathan Black. Nathan, it's all yours.
Connor, what happened? You ended up in the middle of the track there. Talk to me. You went up against the Northern Smoke Machine and it didn't seem to be your moment. What happened?
Yeah, so unfortunately coming out in the last corner, the power in the car completely cut. And I just over-rotated because the power steering cut in the car. But look, these things happen. Dwayne is an amazing driver. He deserves the win. It's not just because my car broke down. He's a true champion and he deserves to be the British Drift Championship. And of course, he's Irish as well, which is better. So yeah, look, we came this weekend for some fun and we put on a show, and I hope everybody has enjoyed our driving, and hopefully we can come back to the BDC.
Go on. Connor, fantastic words there. I think I can, for the first time, speak on the behalf of everybody and say it was incredible watching you. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to what you bring in the future. That is the Wunder Kid, Connor Shanahan. There he is. And we move on in. We were going to have a chat with Dwayne, but he looks like he's been pushed out as he prepares to go into the top four. Power Ed, say some silly words.
Thank you, Nathaniel. We move it on to another interesting battle, and could we see Oliver Evans take down the almost invincible French driver Antoine Omar at the moment? He has just abolished everybody in his path, and Oliver Evans will be looking at this as another opportunity to go up against his arch nemesis, Dwayne McKeever, but he's got an angry Frenchman to go through, and we have seen Antoine Omar grow into this every single lap.
He certainly has. He's absolutely come alive. So from seeing him in practice this morning to qualifying, he didn't qualify the highest today, but he has really come alive in those top 32 battles. What can he do against the Welshman representing VP Race Fuels? Well, we're about to find out, as we can see Oliver Evans there in the background warming up the tyres on the back of that car. Oliver Evans pulls to the line, the higher qualifier, to lead out Anton Omar. Both guys slot it in gear. Malks gives them the thumbs up and they are off the line. It will be Oliver Evans to lead out Anton Omar for a spot in the final four. As Evans fires it in, washes perfectly wide to the edge of the circuit. But look at Anton Omar right back onto the door. Textbook as usual. It's become the form we've known from this Frenchman. Evans takes it to the wall. Evans takes it to the wall and over the line. As Evans washes wheels offline, a little tap on the back bumper.
Oh, but Evans looks like he missed a gear or something. He almost shuts it down, causes problems for Antoine Omar, but they get straight back onto it. Standard order resumes, and they take it across the line.
Anton Omar is just surprising me run after run. That guy is just phenomenal. As we can get the rear bumper removed off the back end of Oliver Evans's S14, and those guys are going to swap around and make it back to the start line. I think Oliver Evans sits in a dangerous position now.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I think, you know, he's put in a really strong lead run. Antoine Omar right there with him, but look, Evans loves to go aggressive. He's got to control it though. This is where we see him make mistakes. This is where we see him get a little bit overzealous sometimes, and he needs to just control that aggression. Get through the first corner and then make your attack. What's going to go down in the second half of this one? Malks.
Look at the back.
Awaits
Look
for the
at
Marshals.
the back end of Oliver Evans's car. Absolutely destroyed from tagging that wall. We wait to get our Marshal back safely in the centre of the circuit. We get the all go to go, and we are off. Anton Omar to lead in Oliver Evans. Can Oliver Evans control the anger? Almost contacts as they initiate into the first turn. Omar is very wide, but controls it. Oliver Evans dives onto the door.
Yeah,
as Evans stays in it, Eddie.
Yeah, but Omar dropping off that line. Evans staying on the door. Omar gets back into it as Evans shoots forward and lunges down the inside of Antoine Omar. Both drivers almost dropping wheels as they take it out to the wall. Back up the hill towards the grandstand for a final time. Can Evans make a final push, or will Omar find some pace? They cross the line. Rockingham, show your appreciation for a Welshman and a Frenchman going to war.
Very good stuff there. We're going to quick go to a replay of the first run to see exactly what went down there. Looks like the second half of the battle was pretty clear cut. Nice initiation there from Evans, gets nice and wide. Anton Omar just absolutely business as usual, jumps straight into it, onto the door. This is where it goes wrong for Evans. He gets to the wall too early, just a little tag, upsets himself ever so slightly. Anton Omar backs out of it, jumps back into it, but look at this. This is where it goes wrong. Slows the car down massively, falls so far offline. It's unbelievable. Anton Omar finds himself in the middle of the circuit, can't...
Yeah, it's a real calamity of errors from Evans.
Yeah.
Who tags that wall, drops wheels off circuit, and then has a problem as he tries to get out to clip 6. He is dashingly handsome though. So,
judges deliberating this one, Eddie. Who wants to see the Welshman go through? Who wants to see the Frenchman take it home? Who wants to see him go one more time? Oh, not really, not really. Split decision there, Eddie. They're not really sure what they want. He's a handsome young man though, that Oliver Evans. Look at him standing there, dashing in his race suit. Gonna miss you, gonna miss that face, Ollie. Judges still deliberating this one, Eddie. Can't split the decision. They just can't work out who's going to take it through. Wanted to see another replay of that lead. As judges just dissect this run from Oliver Evans in that lead position. Anton Omar in the chase. You can see look, Evans gets to it ever so slightly too deep. I mean, for me, amazing aggression, but wheels over that outer zone 5 as well. And then there, the big shutdown. It looks like a misshift. Gets himself in the middle of the circuit. Anton Omar, though, falls off track. It's a tough one for the judges. Another tough one again. But it looks like they may have come to a decision. Scores being inputted into the system. As Oliver Evans just has a quick look at the damage to his vehicle.
And a quick kick of those Westlake tyres, perhaps wondering if this one could go one more time. His parents did a really good job on him, didn't they?
Good genes, that's what it is, apparently, good genes. Not the ones he wears either. Brian Poffiker is still not completely sure. But he goes for it.
Presses that button.
He presses that button.
I mean, I'm getting a little bit nervous.
I'm getting nervous here.
I have no idea which way they're going to go.
The decision
Here we go.
is in.
Who's it going to be?
Who's going through to the final four? Anton Omar on the left, Ollie Evans on the right. Ryan says Anton. David says Anton. It's unanimous. Anton Omar gets the win and advances through to the final four, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the Welshman, Oliver Evans. Putting it all on the wall, literally. Judges, we need to go back to you. The Frenchman seems unstoppable.
Yeah, well, he's lucky too. He's also gone up against battles where guys are making some big mistakes. Take nothing away from his performance there, though. However, we're going to do this. I'm just going to do this in reverse. Second run, Evans, solid chase run, really aggressive. Omar with a great lead run, but still Evans pulls a 7-3 advantage on the second one. So second run, Evans, no question about it. It all comes back to that first run, and Evans makes 3 mistakes very consecutively. 1, he hits the wall hard enough to straighten the car out. 2, he drops 2 wheels off the circuit as he goes towards clipping zone 5, and then he has a huge stall up as he comes between 5 and 6. It's a deceleration zone, but he almost stops, and I'm not sure what happened, maybe a gear change issue, and then he shoots straight up the middle of the circuit, giving Omar absolutely nowhere to go but kind of follow him wherever he's going, and that's a big mistake. Almost a 9-1, but definitely an 8-2, and enough to overturn the other run, and just about Omar gets 1 point and gets through to the next stage of competition.
So there we go, next battle on the line, ready to rock and roll will be as your 2017 Prime Champion, Scott Cartilage, to take on Ryan Caldwell, the guy that just keeps on coming.
Yeah, keeps on delivering, does Ryan Caldwell, and could we be about to see him top a pro podium in the British Drift Championship? Well, he's going to have to take down the 2017 Pro-Am champion, the man who was in his shoes this time last year, because Scott Cartilage is coming for it, but right now Cartilage losing some ground on Caldwell.
Yeah, Caldwell absolutely flying in that lead position. Cartilage just making a few errors, trying to shortcut the circuit to gain proximity. Caldwell gets to the wall, but Cartilage now gets himself back into the fight. Snappy transition from both those guys. They get it to the wall and across the line. Scott Cartilage and Ryan Caldwell. Real good stuff from both those guys.
You know, and we spoke to a lot of people earlier on, Ian, who said Ryan Caldwell is going to cause a lot of problems for the Pro Grid today, and they were not wrong. He has looked very good today. Really enjoyed watching his driving. But Cartilage still in this one.
Still in it very much. A few mistakes, like I say, shortcutted the circuit here and there to try and gain that proximity. Ryan Caldwell in that lead position, though, was absolutely deadly, and he put down some seriously good qualifying runs. They're back on the line. Cartilage now to lead out Ryan Caldwell for a spot in the final four. And look at this, Ryan Caldwell showing some aggression from the initiation. No separation this time as Caldwell finds the door at that PS13. Shallow angle, though, from both guys as they finally get into it. Almost contact in the middle of the circuit as Caldwell tags on the back bumper of that Birchwood Co. PS13. You can see the bumper hanging down. There was contact from Caldwell as Cartilage is very shallow there. Does find that out of zone 6, but it's a strange line. He gets back into it. Caldwell still with him as they go wheel to wheel across the line. Rockingham makes some noise.
Yeah, I think Caldwell doing a very good job of following a very good lead line, but a very difficult lead line to follow, if that makes sense.
So it looks like the judges are ready to rock and roll with this one. The result is straight inside them, left for Cartilage, right for Ryan Caldwell. Kieran, David and Ryan make unanimous. Ryan Caldwell gets the win and advances through. We quickly have a chat with our judges. Easy decision for you guys.
Yeah, fairly easy there. great runs from both realistically, but just the little mistakes from Scott that gave Ryan the advantage. Ryan putting in a great lead run and a great chase. Scott just sort of not having the proximity to start, building it, and not a perfect lead run, coming away from point 6 a little bit too much, which just gave the advantage to Ryan and a clear win.
There we go. Sorry, Eddie. He was going to...
No, I wasn't. I was giving up.
Jumping in there. You're giving it up there.
No,
this one, very
we're
much...
On. One spot, Ian, remains in the final 4, and this one, I mean, this is a very
Championship. Championship, this could upset the championship very much now.
It really, really could.
Aramis Vascalis to take on Matt Denham. Matt Denham now needs to stop Vascalis from altering the way the championship sits. Both Richards and Carter out in the top 16. If Vascalis could take it through to the final 4, he could jump up the order. They are off the line. Vascalis to lead out Matt Denham as Vascalis fires it at a big angle again. The Lithuanian absolutely crazy as Denham takes a step back, comes through the smoke now as Vascalis puts foot to the floor and pulls away. Denham left standing in the middle of the circuit as Vascalis fires around the teardrop section, looks for the outer zone 6, gets into it. Denham shortcutting the circuit, Eddie, to get some proximity. Vascalis fires it on angle one more time, puts it to the wall and brings it across the line.
Yeah, big showing from Vascalis, and just had a quick look at the way the scoreboard was before this round, and 65 points the difference between Vascalis and Martin Richards, so he won't be able to jump into second position. 22 points the difference between himself and Carter, so certainly second spot still attainable for Vascalis.
Third
spot. It's been a long season.
It's been a long season, been a long day. Matt Denham thumbs down to the camera. He's not happy with that. He knows that Aramis Vascalis was absolutely flying, and he knows that this man is an insane chase driver. The Lithuanian pulls to the line, slots the car in gear. We wait to get the thumbs up. Matt Denham's car looking battered and bruised.
Yeah, I think both cars have taken some hits this weekend and this season. These two, no stranger to getting close to those walls, as they get set to try and fill that last final 4 position. Who's it going to be? Denham needs to pull something out of the bag. Aggression off the line from Aramis Vascalis as they throw it into the first corner. Not the perfect line from Denham as he just misses out on clipping zone 3. Vascalis now looks to shoot forward onto the door of that RX-8. Denham dialing on big angle as he looks to scrub the speed into the teardrop section, but gets straight back on the power to try and build that momentum to bring him back up the hill. But he just can't shake the aggression of the Lithuanian lunatic, and as they cross the line, Rockingham goes wild.
So there we go, those two pull up to the line, and it does look like our judges are ready for a decision straight away, a simple one in their eyes. Who is going to take it through to the final 4? Could it be Matt Denham? Could it be Aramis Vascalis? Slide him left for Denham, right for Vascalis. Kieran says Vascalis. David and Ryan make it unanimous. Give him a round of applause. Aramis Vascalis takes the win and advances through to the final 4. Eddie, it's getting hot. We're into the final 4, and our good friend Nathan Black has got some news for us.
Yes, guys, we are down here. Amazing stuff there. We are down to the final 4, though. And it's becoming a nail-biting moment because I've just been informed that Dwayne McKeever has no clutch pedal. 0 clutch pedal, but he says, I'm going out anyway. Nothing can stop me. So he is about to do battle with the French machine. It's getting very exciting. Let's find out if he's going home with the gold.
Well, there you go. Car problems starting to emerge right at the tail end of the championship. Dwayne McKeever now to take on Anton Omar.
But hang on a second. We are down to the final 4, and we let them away with it all day. Guys, we have 4 drivers remaining. It's the final round of the 2018 season. We want all of you guys on your feet for the final 4. You're not allowed to sit down until you see a bad battle.
Come on, Rockingham, on your feet, on your feet.
Everybody.
Everybody on your feet. Me and Eddie are on our feet.
And we're not stopping there. Before we go to the final 4, we want to hear a wall-to-wall sound from you guys. Make a big cheer for your final 4. We are ready to go. McKeever to lead on Antoine Omar, the man who has been unable to be beaten by anybody. McKeever with no clutch. Here we go. McKeever fires it in. Omar right there with him. McKeever on an insanely wide line.
Anton Amano losing some ground now as McKeever throws it deep into outer zone 5. Look at this from Anton Amar. He loses some ground because it's been the end of the road from Anton Amar as McKeever puts foot to floor, powers through outer zone 7, takes it to the wall, and Anton Amar finishes up the run. Incredible.
You know what? Really strong performance there from Dwayne McKeever, but the problem he has now with no clutch pedal in the chase position, this is where things get really difficult. This is where it becomes a problem for McKeever. He's got the advantage. Omar needs to find something here, something really special. What can he do to try and take down the Northern Smoke Machine? Could he go into the final on his first time on British soil? We are almost ready for the second half of this one. Miles gives the orders. They go to jump the line. We are go. Omar, McKeever into the first corner.
Oh! Anton Amar! He goes wide. He goes wide. McKeever stays in it. McKeever stays door to door with a Frenchman as they transition in front of the grandstand. Look at this from Dwayne McKeever. He's all over the side of the Frenchman. They are wheel to wheel as they come into the teardrop. Anton Amar is putting everything he has into this run, but look at McKeever. McKeever is glued to the side of that French S13 as they come to the wall. Grandstand! Make some noise for Dwayne McKeever and Anton Amar. Eddie Power.
No clutch.
What was that?
No clutch, no problem. Guys, as they get out of their cars, hit them with a wall of sound. McKeever and Omar putting on a show. We go to the scoreboard. Who's going through? Kieran Hinds says McKeever. David and Ryan make it unanimous. Woo! And you've got Dwayne McKeeves. Over to you, buddy.
Oh my, Jesus Marumba, where to stop? We'll be up with you in a second. Hey man, you made it all the way here. I don't know who you are, but I'm damn proud of you. Well done, Sausage, put it there. What was it like going up against this monster? Tell me what it was like.
It's the best guy on the drift stand for me in this moment.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy to compete with him, to compete with all the people here. Yeah. I'm very happy to come here, and it's a dream for me. Thank you very much, all people. Thank you.
Hey, we're glad to have you here. The French machine. Thanks very much. But here he is. Dwayne, stop it. They told me that your clutch pedal weren't working. I don't really know what that means, but it sounds like it should have impeded your victory. I'm interested to play a game where we just keep taking stuff away. Why don't we see if you can win without an engine? You know what? I'd still put money on you winning because you don't seem to be able to stop. There's one battle left before you go 5 for 5. There's still not a bead of sweat on your glorious face. Tell us what's in your head.
Well, yeah, every run, every time I hit the clutch, I have a different pedal. But basically in the last one against Connor, I actually had to go for first just in the last hairpin. And basically, no clutch at all. But it's sort of come back again, but it's just hit or miss whether it's going to give up or not. So we're just cross fingers at the minute.
Well, let's get back there and find out who you're going up against. Ladies and gentlemen, the Northern Smoke Machine!
Thanks, Nathan. Ladies and gentlemen, I want everyone here to give a warm thank you to Anton Amar for coming all the way over from Paris to compete here at the British Drift Championship. What a guy, what a driver. And listen, I want to see him come back because what a competitor.
Yeah, and I'm just watching and just making sure that nobody's sitting down, and they're not. They are standing proud because what a show they are seeing here. We have one more Final Four battle, but what a performance from Antoine Amar. Incredible stuff from him.
So we are almost ready to kick off the second half of our Final Four battle, and that will be a Ryan Caldwell to take on Aramis Vasquez. You couldn't have written this.
No, certainly not. I mean, Caldwell all year playing second fiddle to Lee Scott now finds himself in a Final Four battle against just one of the most insane drivers I've ever seen. He's such an exciting man to watch, Vasquez, and I think with the exception of when the only thing that has stopped him really this year and having more success is the fact that he has just broken prop shaft after prop shaft after prop shaft.
Car problems.
Yeah, car problems all the way throughout his career. But he is here going up against one of the hottest properties. Ryan Caldwell there is nothing amateur about him.
Dave Egan.
Hearing, seeing a hand up in the classroom over here. Judge, just David Egan wants to talk. Dave, you're not going to get to address this crowd too many more times. Talk us through what you've been seeing and how you're feeling about this final round.
Yeah, well, of course it is the final round of Rockingham and my final round as owner of the championship, and what a finale. It's been incredible. We were just having a little discussion between ourselves and we said, if anybody's going to stop Dwayne McKeever having the perfect 5 for 5, there's only 2 guys on the grid today that could do it, and that would be Vasquez or Caldwell, and they have the pace for him, which has been a big factor in Dwayne being so successful this weekend. We're in for a hell of a finale here. It's not over yet by a long shot.
It certainly is, and you know what? I'm ready to get this show on the road. Ryan Caldwell now pulls up to the line to take on Aramis Vasquez. Who is going to be in the hot seat to take on Dwayne McKeever? I don't know about you, but things are heating up and the weather's getting colder.
Yeah, sun goes down, but the heat just keeps on coming. Vasquez, Caldwell. I'm shaking here. I've got goosebumps. I'm excited. This is going to be the final few battles that we are going to see in 2018, and it's going to be sparks. It's going to be fireworks. Vasquez, can he take down the young gun? The higher qualifier, Vasquez getting ready to lead them in. The man with no brain takes on the man who is still in school. Here we go, off the line they go. Vasquez to lead in. Caldwell side by side as they slam through the gears. Big angle from Vasquez as he fires through the first corner. Caldwell lost in the smoke. We can't even see him. Now he appears on the screen as he throws it to the door of the E30 of the Lithuanian. As they come down into the teardrops.
Oh, wow, big angle from Vasquez, almost over-rotates, he stays in it, Caldwell sticks it to the door, one more transition from Vasquez, Caldwell gets back on the door again and takes it to the wall. Unbelievable stuff.
They're still standing, Ian.
They're still standing. They're appreciating what we're seeing, and that is some top-class driving. So those guys are going to make it back to the start line. We're going to swap them around. It will be our Ryan Caldwell now to lead in Aramis Vasquez. Aramis Vasquez finally finding that form we've been waiting for. We're finally seeing the Aramis Vasquez that we've heard about and that's been spoken about before. He is here, and now look at this. In the final 4 of a British Drift Championship final, this guy, a serious contender. Thumbs up to the start line, Marshall. He is ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I think you're looking at 2 future Pro Championship winners, regardless of whether it's here, whether it's abroad, whether it's on the European scene. But these guys mastering their craft at the moment. They get ready to leave the line. Big prize for the winner here. A spot in the final against Dwayne McKeever. Caldwell throws it in. Just cost him to the win. Vasquez though right there with him, and as you say, Caldwell now puts, Caldwell drops a wheel down the inside. Way out of position, but he gets back online. Vasquez glued to him as they come down the hill. They throw it out to the wall. As it starts to unravel a little bit for Caldwell. Crowding out the arena as they take it to the wall one final time. Rockingham, show your appreciation for Vasquez and Caldwell.
Incredible stuff from both those guys. As Ryan Caldwell overshoots the finish line. You can see him just take a peer back to see where Aramis Vasquez ended up. Vasquez out of the car.
Yeah, a real battle of the titans for these two. And while the judges make their decision, guys, they're out of their cars, hit them with a wall of sound. Aramis Vasquez and Ryan Caldwell. Who thinks Aramis Vasquez took the win? Who thinks Ryan Caldwell took the win? Who wants to see them go all night long? Not like that, but
Eddie Power. Well, it looks like the decision is dropping in. Who is going to take it through to the final to take on Dwayne McKeever? Slide him left for Caldwell, right for Vasquez. Kieran says Vasquez. David says Vasquez goes to the final to take on Dwayne McKeever. Judges, we go to you. We have finally found Aramis Vasquez. We're going to go to Nathan quickly first.
16 years old. Unbelievable stuff. Now, how do you feel? What happened there?
I feel unreal. Haven't released a battle yet today, but tonight, but sure, what odds?
So you're happy with it? You were here yesterday. You won yesterday. You're here now. Incredible stuff. An amazing opposition. What do you have to say?
Unreal. Great.
Great stuff. Last time, give it up for this young man. How are you? Good day. Good day to you, Omar. What are you? Yeah, you do fantastic drift. Are you speaking that?
Yeah.
Oh yes, very excited. Believe me. Well, congrats. Anything to say to the people here at the BDC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good word. Yep to you as well. Let's do this. Come on. There we are.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for those two guys. What an outstanding drive. Judges, we just quickly throw it back to you. A quick word with head judge Kieran Hinds.
Yeah, it's an amazing battle there, to be fair. Look, it comes down to one small little factor. If you look, both runs are very, very similar. The only difference, really, Aramis is carrying more angle than Ryan is. And you know, it's easy enough to keep proximity if you can carry less angle. In other words, if Ryan was to match angle with Aramis in that chase position, he would have taken advantage, but he didn't. So, you know, it comes down to this. You have to be able to match the angle of the lead car. So you have proximity, but you don't have matching angle. So Aramis takes an advantage in the first run. The second one was squared up. So Aramis, with his extra angle, takes the win.
In the wise words of Aramis Vasquez, yep.
Yep. He's a man of few words but much talent. That's what we're gonna say about Aramis Vasquez. Eddie, we're almost ready to kick off our third and fourth place playoff. We're obviously going to give Ryan Caldwell a couple of minutes to get his car prepared, ready for that battle. We know that Anton Omar is ready to go. Dave Egan, throwing it back to you. You want to have a quick word?
Yeah, incredible stuff there from Aramis and Ryan Caldwell. I think it's the final we've all been looking forward to. McKeever and Vasquez. If you look back throughout the whole year of Vasquez, his driving style is completely different to McKeever. McKeever is so consistent, so fast, such a line technical driver, and that's what's got him the championship this year. Vasquez often doesn't make sense what he's doing whatsoever on the track, but if he pulls it off, you can't compete with him. You can't. The stuff he does out there, we think he's spun, he's gone, and it's crazy. So you've got the crazy uncontrolled style of Aramis Vasquez against the sort of consistent aggressive style of McKeever. It could go either way, and what a time to finish the championship this year with those two guys who have been standout stars this year, both not technically from the UK. Well, I suppose McKeever technically from the UK, and so is Aramis, but both guys very much representing Lithuania and Ireland here this weekend, and it goes to show the amount of talent and international talent on the grid. Frenchmen into the top 8. It's been a fantastic day. From my own personal standpoint, it's my last time in the tower in the BDC, and it's been an amazing journey for the last 3 years. I just want to personally thank everybody who's watched an event, come to an event, sponsors, media, track marshals, my crew here have been incredible. What a finale. It's just been an incredible journey so far. I'm looking forward to next year with the talent that's here to see where this championship goes. And if you're a UK drift fan, it's time to start believing in this, because it's producing it time and time again. If you look back, 5-6 years ago, events like this weren't possible. Right now, it packed out attendances, incredible driving, wall runs, smashed bumpers, cars, everything, and guys from all over the world traveling to be here. It's been an incredible journey, a fantastic finale. We're going to sit back and enjoy this one. And phenomenal, phenomenal season.
Kieran Hinds, you want to have a quick word?
Yeah, just to say that if looking back at battles, I've been watching Aramis now for the whole year, and he's a wild driver. And I mean, okay, we're very much line based about precision. Aramis comes from a different kind of a breed where he's a bit more flair, maybe a bit more wild, and he's trying to tame that aggression that he has. I will say that he has shown flashes of brilliance all season, and even last year when we saw him come over to Ireland. But his problem has been reliability. He has had a lot of reliability issues, and unfortunately we've seen him lose battles through braking, half shafts and stuff. So it looks like he's solved that reliability issues that he has, and he could take it all the way today.
Thank you, Kieran Hinds. Yeah, I mean, what a year, and I said it earlier on the mic when I was doing the top 32 presentation. I personally can't thank Dave Egan and the guys from the IDC that come across to run this championship enough, because what they've created is it's given us in the UK such an amazing championship. And I know that I speak for everybody here, a UK drifting fan, that what we've created is the best championship we could ever hope for. And what we've got now is packed grandstands and some of the best drivers from
look
around
at this.
the UK.
They're showing their appreciation. They are still on their feet. They're all cheering in the crowd. You know what? this has just been a magical season. It's been, you know, it's been an honour even for me just to be a part of this for the last couple of seasons as well, Ian, coming over here. And we have seen some incredible drifting. We put on some incredible shows. The fans over here they're so passionate. They really know they're drifting, and they are here. They turned out in their numbers for one final time at this very prestigious arena, and the last time we'll ever see drifting. But the fans have arrived in their numbers, and they've shown their appreciation as well. So credit to them. And guys, give yourselves a round of applause as well, please.
Yeah.
Or not.
Or not. They're happy, they're having fun. We are ready to get our third and fourth place playoff underway, and it will be Anton Omar to take on Ryan Caldwell, the man from France, to take on the young student from Northern Ireland. You couldn't have written this one, Eddie. You couldn't have written this one.
No, but it's certainly taken a lot to take down Antoine Omar so far. Now, what can Caldwell do?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to kick this off until you guys give me the biggest cheer I've heard all day. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to go?
We've already let it go.
Too late, we're already let it go.
Here we go. Caldwell versus Antoine Omar, the Frenchman. Can he produce one last little bit of French flair? Can he take a step on the podium? Or will it be bronze for Caldwell?
Oh, and an error from Anton. An error from Anton in the middle of the circuit as Caldwell keeps in it, puts his foot to the floor, and absolutely nails the lead line. Oh, Anton.
With the wall from Anton Omar.
And Anton Omar takes it to the wall and straightens up, finishes off the run off track. Whoa, that was close. That could have been a big impact. That was very close there from Anton Omar. Quick thinking from the Frenchman. To quickly have an inspection of his car to make sure he is still good to go for the second half of the battle. As you can see, Ryan Caldwell in the background just making his way back to the start line.
Yeah, no issues for him in that run. He'll be happy with how he performed, and he'll be feeling confident. Can the Pro-Am driver secure a spot on the podium? It would mean so much to him and the team. Thumbs up from him, thumbs up from Antoine Omar. It's down to you, Malks, to give the orders. The hands are raised, they are dropped, we are go. One last time for these two. As they come through the gears, Antoine Omar throws it in on big angle. Can he keep it on circuit? He certainly can, but look at this from Caldwell. Caldwell tucks in behind him, poised to make his attack. Here he comes. Omar takes it out to the wall past the grandstand. Caldwell, foot to floor. They slow up as they come into the teardrop section. Wheels off from Anton Omar.
Oh, and almost contact with the wall again.
To the wall. Caldwell staying with him, doing everything he can, door to door as they cross the line, rocking him. Raise the roof for your third and fourth place playoff battle. Omar and Caldwell. What a day these two guys have had as Antoine Omar stumbles out of the car looking exhausted. Result coming through. Who's going to take it through? Is it going to be Omar? Is it going to be Caldwell? Kieran Hinds says. Ryan Caldwell. David Egan says. Ryan Caldwell. Ryan Pontegary makes it unanimous. Ryan Caldwell takes the win. Guys, round of applause for fourth place. Antoine Omar. Nathan is down with the winner. Nathan, over to you.
I am. Amazing stuff. How are you feeling after that? Have you got any final words?
Absolutely, man. Class. Unreal.
Can't hear one word of it, but that's an excited young teenager. Congrats for you, Mr. Frenchman. One final time. Have you got any? That's it. One final time. I just like chatting to you again. You look like a fun chap. I'd like to go to a French party with you. Any final words?
Sorry?
Hey, you don't have to be sorry to me at all, you little rascal.
I speak little English, sorry.
But you speak the wonderful language of drifting very well.
Aggressive style.
Yeah. Ah, la, 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 la. There it is. We now get ready. It's final time. I'm dropping my microphone. Who's ready for a final? It's time for Mr. Vasquez. He's a loud Frenchman, isn't he? It's time for Mr. Vasquez and Dwayne McKeever to do battle live here for the grand finale and the BDC, and I am incredibly excited. So let's see what happens. For the final time, there's only one man that can stop the almighty reign of Dwayne, and he's right behind me. Let's go and see what happens. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nathan. Yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. No need to go to the judges for the decision of the third and fourth. Off track is off track, yeah. And Ryan Caldwell taking third step on the podium. We're bringing up the graphic. It is ready to go. Dwayne McKeever, your current champion leader to take on the madman, the Lithuanian lunatic, Aramis Vaskelis. Ladies and gentlemen, before we release this battle, I'm going to hold it this time. They're not going to get off the line before I say so, or before Rockingham Motor Speedway makes some noise. Our track manager has got his hands in the air. He's not putting anything wrong this time. Rockingham Motor Speedway, have you had fun? That's what I'm talking about. We're on our feet. Me and Eddie are on our feet. Dave Egan's on his feet. I want to see everyone from the South Grandstand all the way to the start line. Are you ready for your final battle? Make some noise! Rockingham Motor Speedway, I am proud of you guys. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's get them off the line, Mikey. It's going to be Dwayne McKeever to lead out Aramis Vaskelis for the final battle of 2018. Here we go, Eddie!
It's the Northern Smoke Machine and the Lithuanian lunatic. Dwayne leads him in. Vaskelis comes hunting for the door early. Dwayne throws it out to the wall as he tries to bring it up to the grandstand. Nice and deep into that outer zone, but he can't shake Vaskelis. Will the clutch hold? They send it down to the slowing down section. Vaskelis hunts down that door. McKeever can't shake him. They're side by side as they bring it down the hill. Vaskelis makes the insane dive. Would you believe it?
What was that?
That was a statement. That was a statement from Vaskelis. We switched them around. Everybody, get your phones out. Set it to record because we have one run left in 2018 and we are done. One run and we are out of here. One run and we will be crowning a winner.
McKeever knows he's in trouble. Look at his face. He doesn't even look at the camera. He is focused, straight dead forward. Vaskelis takes his time to pull to the line. He knows he's got it in the bag. Look at this, thumbs up. He's laughing. He's excited. He knows it's going down. Rockingham, this is it. The final run of 2018. Make some noise for the final run of the year. Mikey, send them off the line. Vaskelis to lead out McKeever. Here we go.
Max gives the orders. They select the gears. One last time. They need to find the focus. Big angle from Vaskelis as he dials it on. McKeever lost.
Oh, McKeever! McKeever straightened.
McKeever lost in the smoke. Vaskelis tearing up Rockingham. He's tearing it up. He's showing the boss who's the real boss. Could Vaskelis beat the unbeatable? Can he take down McKeever? McKeever comes hunting. They cross the line. Raise the roof. Rockingham one last time. I have no words.
Wow. I have no words. Look at McKeever. They're out of the car. Hit him with a wall of sound. Rockingham Motor Speedway. Dwayne McKeever and Aramis Vaskelis. Look at this on the replay. Did McKeever straighten? It looks like he made a huge error. It was scrappy. It was scrappy from McKeever. It's not the usual form. We know he's got a broken car, but look at Vaskelis. Unbelievable. Look at this wall run. Puts it on the wall. Phenomenal stuff from the Lithuanian. Ladies and gentlemen, we will not be giving that decision away over our system here. I'm going to be jumping down to the podium. We just need to find out from our judges, do we have a decision? As soon as we get that word, you're more than welcome to join us on circuit in front of the grandstand for the podium. And I invite every single person down here for the final time for 2018 and to celebrate Rockingham Motor Speedway and the way it should be sent off.
Judges. Trying to decide.
Trying to decide.
I wouldn't like this job. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a winner?
Oh, judges want to see a replay.
Well, they look at the replay. Who thinks Dwayne McKeever took the win? Who thinks Vaskelis stopped the streak?
Oh, wow. There's a lot of Aramis Vaskelis fans in the house.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to ask them if they want to see it one more time because I think they've chosen their winner. And it's time for the judges to do the same thing as they look to the Samco Sport replay.
Dave Egan, we fire it to you. Do we have a decision?
We have a decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the podium. Eddie Power, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm going to head down and do the deal one last time. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage everyone to come down and join us on the track. I'm going to hand over to Nathan. Nathan, the power's in your hands.
I'm here. I am here. Oh my, how about that? So as we head on over to the podium, that's it. the entire year of BDC, and what an unbelievable adventure it's been. Just look at the people. What a beautiful, beautiful audience we've had here today. I don't know what's going to happen. The future of the BDC is somewhat uncertain, but the only thing that is certain is no matter who takes it over, whatever happens, it's going to be incredible, because there's no way something that's grown and that's as good as this is going anywhere but upwards. I personally have come on a rather emotional drift adventure. Started right at the bottom. I've ended up here at the final in Rockingham. I just want to take the chance to thank you guys for all coming out. What an incredible day it's been. We're going to find out who is winning. We're looking for Ian. I don't know what's going to happen next year, but I'm excited to find out. We've had some jokes, we've had some giggles, and on a rather sentimental note, I just want to say to the people, I was right all along. I am the best. I am drifting. Ian, you'll never look like me. Thanks, BDC. Rock on next year. Yeah!
Thanks, Nathan Black, and that's hopefully the last time we'll ever get to speak to him. Rockingham Motor Speedway, before we hand out those all-important trophies and spray the champagne for the final time, I want everybody here, I know I've had you shouting all day, but I want everyone here at Rockingham Motor Speedway to give your final three drivers a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And I count it down, taking third step on the podium. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, to Ryan Caldwell. Now this one's very important. Who is going to take the first step on the podium? Well, I can confirm. Taking second step on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the smoke machine, Dwayne McKeever. That means taking the win and stopping the streak. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for Aramis, for Callous. Ladies and gentlemen, from myself, Eddie, Nathan, all of the crew, I want to say a huge thank you to all the fans, online supporters. We will see you in 2019. What the future holds, nobody knows. We will see you soon.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
I've chosen to use VP racing fuels since I was a teenager racing motocross, which was 21 years ago now.
I've been using VP racing fuel for years, basically ever since I built my first race car, and you want to get that consistent fuel, it was VP through and through.
Absolutely,
right from the beginning.
that's the brand. Yeah, I've been using VP probably since I was 10 years old racing dirt bikes. There's so many different VP racing fuels to choose from. One of the best go-tos is definitely C16.
So we use C16 in our Formula Drift cars.
I run C16 in all my cars outside of this one here. The 2 race cars here at the track, we run the C85.
And my supercharged Coyote-powered Mustang that's over in Europe, we use MS-109.
And a Ferrari car, I actually run MS-109.
VP has been making racing fuel for 43 years. They're the official fuel of multiple top series globally. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what fuel we need, it's always consistent. It's always perfect and exactly what we're expecting and our tuners expecting. They support myself, my Drift Alliance bros, and for that, I'm extremely thankful. Keep making amazing fuels, and we'll keep out there having fun.
There's a reason that half the paddock, if not more here, runs Samco hose, and that's that nobody wants to be let down by a split water hose or a split boost hose. And with Samco, there's nothing to worry about.
With using these hoses, we get the reliability, they never burst, we can just rely on them, and that's all we need.
Half of the grid are running Samco hoses in their cars, and there's a reason for that. They're the best in the business.
I'm so happy to be running Samco hoses now, because in the past we have run other manufacturers' hoses and we have had the intercooler pipes collapsing, which obviously when you're under massive pressure on track, you have to be fully supportive and reliant on your hoses.
So a lot of people ask us over the years, you know, what hoses you run. Personally, I can't think of anything better than Samco. They do what they say on the tin, they work, they don't come loose, they don't fail on you, they don't pop. You can't beat Samco.
With over 25 years' experience, Link Engine Management are global leaders in motorsport engine technology. Developed and manufactured in New Zealand, Link has been supplying ECUs, sensors and dashes to drivers around the world. We have a range of products to help you get the most out of your engine, and all of our ECUs come with a limited lifetime warranty. So if you want to upgrade, find your nearest dealer and get more info on our products, visit linkecu.com. Presenting the Link MXS Strada dashes powered by AIM Technologies, 2 devices that work in harmony with your existing Link ECU. Available in the standard or street version, the Strada can show a wide range of data like speed, water temperature, oil pressure and much more, thanks to its ability to read up to 4 analog inputs and 1 digital input. Our dashes come pre-configured, allowing you to get set up quickly and easily. For more information on these and all of our other products, contact your local dealer or visit linkecu.com.